Where to begin? It is utterly unbelievable where to begin. So we're going to do this to you guys, and half this room leave because glazed donuts are not welcome today. The defense played well. Hurts played well. Are you fucking nuts? That was a colossal collapse versus a 4-5 team. I mean, you're making the Cowboys seem like they're the Rams. Hurts in the ball game was terrible. The offense, really, in my opinion, put the death nail in the defense. You know, it's bad when people with press at NovaCare are calling KP's job. Dave Zangaro, Reuben Clark, the entire NBC Philly media fire Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo. Okay, really? Let's get going here. All right. I'm gonna make this very clear here. By the way, hit the like button. Leon, thank you very much. Super chats go to the top. You have lost your identity. No matter if it's Saquon Barkley or whomever, you could have Barry Sanders running the ball. Your offensive line is dog shit. The one thing that without a doubt was your identity was the O-line. The offensive line was your identity. And the difference between this team and the year ago team, you don't have people like Isaiah Rodgers coming in when you have an injured player. I told you, your substitutes are dog shit. You got these nosedives in talent when you put these other guys in. And the next time I hear a guy using fucking injuries as an excuse, you don't know what you're talking about when you cover the league. Welcome to the NFL. So these idiots understand game adjustments. Game adjustments. Gonna get there. Hopefully Frank will be next week. November 29th. Yes, that is the last game that Stanford has against Notre Dame. I want to show you something here. Okay? Hit that like button. Supers go to the top. I want to show you something on your drive chart. Your first 3 drives, 25 plays, 192 yards, almost 200 yards. 3 touchdowns. Average per drive, 64 yards. Guys look good. 21-0. Here are your next 8 drives. 34 plays. 107 net yards. 13.3 yards per drive. Where the fuck are you going? Seals penalties. That's on the entire unit. Quarterback included. 13.3 yards per series after the first 3. And you fucking played well? 13.3 yards per series. 8 series. You averaged 13 yards. Really? Silver lining? Where? 13 yards. You had your fucking faces kicked in the second half by the Cowboys. Cowboys came back, and without a doubt, the Cowboys knew after they scored that touchdown heading into the half, they knew they were going to win that football game. They knew it. You can sense it. It became a downhill. It became a downhill avalanche. I mean, we're going to get to the numbers here in a second. They really don't tell you the game. And then you got coaching. We're going to get to all of this. Sales using me, but not using me. Tank Bigsby, 2025. Holy shit. Injuries? You don't know what you're talking about. The identity of the football team has been lost. Because your identity was your O-line. And your O-line, and what I think the toughest thing to do is you really got to look at it and go, well, the identity's lost because the O-line's the Cowboys beat the fuck out of you and the two guards in center. Cam Jurgens is nowhere near the player he was. It's time for that 1-2 punch the Lions do with the running back. Eagle fans, Dak is on another than Jalen. Dak Prescott was spectacular. Now 9-5 versus Philly. He was fucking spectacular. Spectacular. Dak was great. You see Dak cartwheel into the end zone, he knew he had to have it. He knew that team needed that game. He knew that the Cowboys could not lose. They may lose to Kansas City this week. They had to have that Eagle game. They needed that Eagle game. And they took it from you. The Dallas Cowboys took that game from you. You guys got all nice and warm and fuzzy with a 21-point lead, and you took your opponent for granted. You thought they'd stop fighting. They didn't. They came back and took it. They didn't steal it. They took it. They took that game from you. You had it in the bag, thought it was over. You get conservative as you always do. You walk into those melees, and then Hurts starts overthrowing people in the second half. You let 3 series cloud your judgment on the quarterback's play. After that, I thought he was inaccurate. He's responsible for that huddle. We played 12 great minutes on offense. That's it. When the scripted plays were done, we fell apart again. Correct. I pointed that out to you. When they have to go off script, that's when they get in trouble. You know why? Because you got poor coaches on that side of the ball. That's correct. Flags and not going deep. And more story of the game. Deep. You see Dak's throw chart? Training wheels OC. Jalen Shador Hurts. I'm serving pigeon for Thanksgiving, the Hurts special. Sandra, I think I missed the super up here, man. I may have missed one. Let's see here. Patullo is a scapegoat. I think that's the one. Want to make sure we get 84. Appreciate you guys sending the supers. We'll get them all, I promise you here. Patullo's a scapegoat, as was Johnson in 23. This is knee pad Nick's offense. This team is one and done. Bro, A.J. Brown is the scapegoat. I told you that already. A.J. Brown will be used as the scapegoat on why this team imploded this year and not win. If they don't win, this will come down to A.J. destroying the team. They will blame him, and they will ship his ass out of town. Incoming, 23 collapse. One and done in January, Sills. He had a fucking great game. Look at that. Glazed donut. Hurts had a great game. Hurts had 3 great drives. After that, they were overthrows, a shitty sack, and you went nowhere. You averaged 13 yards a drive. He said he played well. Really? Where? Outside of those 3 drives. Folks, he says the offense, which Hurts is in charge of, played well. They had 13 yards a drive. 13 yards a drive. And he said they played well. Well, what about the penalties? That's on the unit. Isn't he part of the unit? Or are you going to put him on an island? And are you going to start going like what Hugh Douglas says? Hurts is a leader when he feels fucking like it. Hugh Douglas. Hugh Douglas. Okay? Hugh Douglas. Get this. Hey, Blaze, that's not an idea. That's not a bad idea. You're a buffoon if you think that's... Really? 13 yards a drive. 13 yards for 8 drives after the first 3. And this douchebag thinks the quarterback and the offensive unit played well. That's part of it, my friend. Okay? Dude, there is nothing you can say to me. Hurts couldn't throw you out of trouble. Dak did. They were down 21 points, and Dak threw the Cowboys out of trouble and into a win. Hurts had a 21-point lead and couldn't stop the Avalanche. Yes or no? Yes or no? He couldn't stop the Avalanche. Get this. Okay, bro, it's over. Passing game was fine. Folks, the passing game was fine for 3 drives. No. 3 drives. Penalties did kill a few good drives. Steen hurt us. Hey, folks, Jalen Hurts is part of a unit. Yes or no? Yes or no? Or is it just him on an island? Oh, I see. Okay. You're going to glaze that fucking guy no matter what it is, and you'll fucking go down that lane. You'll blame everybody but the stiff quarterback and the stiff offensive coordinator. By the way, the quarterback and the O-line and the coordinator couldn't figure out a 5-front? Where'd that come from? Cowboys dominated you up front. The Cowboys dominated you. 3rd and 2, poor sack. Should have been a quarterback draw. Quarterback draw. I'm going to do this again to you. I'm going to show you how good your passing game was. 7 plays, 50 yards, touchdown. 12 plays, 76 yards, touchdown. 6 plays, 66 yards, touchdown. Here's M. Reyes' great offense and great passing game. This is, by the way, this is an opinion. This is who they are. And this is what they did. 3 plays. -2. Punt. 1. 1 yard and a half. That's a kneel down. Coming out. 3 plays. 3 net yards. Punt. 6 plays. 18 yards. Punt. 3 plays. 7 yards. Punt. 7 plays. 30 yards. Missed field goal. 6 plays. 33. Fumble. Then 5 plays. 17 yards. That's 8 series. You averaged 13 yards. Let me get this too. I'd like to know this. How many plays did you average over that as well? Let's do this. Let's go here with this one here. M. Reyes is great passing attack and great offense. 34 plays divided by 8. You average 4 plays per series and 13 yards in the second half on every series. What are you talking about? You played well in the passing game and in the run game. You average 4 plays and 13 yards in 8 drives. In the second, actually after the first 3, you played like shit. Where did you play well? First 10 minutes? I mean, where? How many minutes did that go to? Let's see. Possession, 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 3 minutes. Now listen to this. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minute, 2 minute, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. That's how much you held the ball in every one of those series after the first 3. It was like a ballet routine. 1, 2, 3, kick. You played well. And your defense did not play well. Here, let's go to the numbers. You tell me. I heard John say, don't look at the box score. What do you mean don't look at the box score? The drive chart tells you what you did, and your analytics tell you what you produced. The Eagles had 19 first downs. Once again, 5 of 12 on third down. 63 yards rushing. The Cowboys outrushed you. Got away from running the ball. You had 18 carries. 14 penalties, 96 yards. What's that attributed to? Well, when you're playing backup guys and injured guys, that's where you're going to fall down the lane of. Seals, this season's outcome starts and ends with Howie. He crashed out on this season in favor of future obligations. The CEO, head coach, Ricky O.C., lack of depth and failure to develop the quarterback is on Roseman. Absolutely. And this is what happens when you don't have a coach that knows how to develop a quarterback. Sirianni's not developing that quarterback. Defense didn't have time to taste the Gatorade. That is the problem. Right there. The offense running out of gas, like Chip Kelly used to, has put your defense in the blue tent. By the end of the year, I'll be shocked if there's not more serious injuries to your defense because of the way your offense is playing. You're systematically breaking your defense down because of the lack of consistency with the offense. It's wearing him out. Put Jurgens on IR for the playoffs and let Lampkin play. I mean, if you pay him, you're playing him. I thought the Cowboys, hey, whatever you want to say about Skeletor, Jerry Jones, he traded Parsons away and the team got better. The Dallas Cowboys defense is better. They owned you. Up front, you couldn't stop them. You couldn't stop the Cowboys. Hey, by the way, remember in the pregame, some of you probably weren't there for the pregame. I told John that Quinnen Williams was going to make an impact. And that guy, whether he's on the Raiders, the Jets, you put him anywhere. That's one of the top 5 interior D tackles in football. They couldn't control him. He was killing people in the middle and freeing everyone up in the middle there. They couldn't stop him. He was dominating in the middle of the field. Bro, that guy is going to be a problem for the Eagles for the next 5 years. That fucker can play. He's a good player. I thought the way they played Overshawn was good. That guy can play. By the way, George Pickens is a free agent. At the end of the year, holy shit, is he going to command big money in the open market. He is some ball player. We need this loss, Sills. A.J. Brown was right. If the coaches cannot see it, now they will never see it. Let Hurts play. Barkley also missing holes. Hurts needs to throw. Let him learn by making mistakes. Sills, B.S. Parsons is not a scrub. He for sure would help him. They would never be the run-stopping defense and stop Barkley if they didn't make that trade. Dude, they're better. They were never better with Parsons. You own the team. I don't know how anybody in their right mind doesn't see that the defense for the Cowboys is better as a unit now without Parsons. Parsons is a great player, but you're better as a unit now. The Eagles didn't have a spectacular superstar, generational player on their defense a year ago. They didn't even have one first-team All-Pro player, except for Bond. They were great as a unit. I mean, so now Dallas's defense of the 85 players playing against all backups offensive line. Hey, bro, tell that to somebody who gives a fuck about your comments about stupid injuries. Welcome to the NFL, son. Crying about injuries. Holy shit. Another excuse, glazed donut. Injuries. Bad coaching. About shitty play. On both sides of the football. Dude, 21 points and 500 yards. And 100 yards. And get this. You gave the Cowboys a football field and penalties. And you still couldn't stop 24 unanswered points. Think of this. The Cowboys had 476 yards in offense, and you gave them an extra 100. How the fuck do you think you were not going to lose that game? You basically gave them almost 600 yards in offense. 600 yards. With the penalties and the 476. $600 yards. I will need to pay $1,000 to JAKIB company to ignore Mark Holmes this week. No. Hey, listen. No way. No way. Mark Holmes is on Wednesday. No way. Are you kidding? Look at Mars. Mars is not. No way. Hey, listen. I think some of you Eagle fans should take that Wednesday 4:30 Eastern segment off because he's going to be intolerable. You know, he's been waiting for a victory lap for about 2 years now. And, hey, he came here getting his ass kicked every day. We're not putting that thing up. No, we're not doing that. Dallas could have had Williams and Parsons. No, they couldn't have had Williams. He wouldn't have traded for him. Oh, listen, Holmes is coming on this program. Mark Holmes is coming on this program. Holy cow. Oh, yeah. You know what's going on right now? People getting all upset because of some of the shit we've been saying come true now. Oh, you glazed donuts. Hey, you should have seen people in the first half of the game. Sileo, look at my boy Hurts. I'm like, yeah, hang in there. All of a sudden, it started going down to a simmer. All of a sudden, people started disappearing. And before you know it, crickets. What happened? Yeah, what happened? Crickets. I won't lie. I thought some of you were going to hide. I thought some of you were going to hide today. And you guys were going to go hide because, well, at least you're facing it. The Rams are so fucking superior. Wow. Are they fucking great? So let me get this right. 4-5-1 and 3-8. You lost to two teams that have a combined record of 7-13 between the Giants and the Cowboys. How you doing? Holy shit. Sills, this is Kyle. Sills, this is not winning the battle. It's about winning the war. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sills, I live in Philly. We never hide. All right, fair enough. I got you, bro. What did I say? I said they'd win 28-26. They won 24-21. All right. It's kind of in there a little bit. Sills, I don't agree with J-Mac. We're not killing the Bears on Friday. I don't see us winning that one. How about this? Where in the world would you think you're killing anybody? Who are you killing? The fucking Giants? Oh, by the way, congratulations, Eagle guys. Inside your own division, the two teams that you've played so far, you split with them. You split with the Giants. Are the Rams playing too good? Could be too good too early. That could be. Absolutely. Who are you killing? Who would have thunk the two teams you played in the NFC East, you split? You split with the Cowboys and you split with the Giants. I mean, what? So what happens in situations where Mark's takes don't come true and we don't punch back, Sills? My hands are tied here, bro. No. Because at the end of the day, Marsh, you're still in the conversation for a big seed and potentially home field. Hey, by the way, I want to put this out there to you guys. Please hit the like button, guys. I didn't learn anything about your team that's not new. I think you guys have. See, Xander accepted it last week. It is what it is. The week before, he kicked my ass for that. This last week, he went, well, it is what it is. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. You are. I thought this was who you were. You weren't a dominant team. You were a good team. Really, there's no dominant team, folks, in the NFC. I think the Rams are playing great. Can they be beat? Hey, I'm still suspect of their corners. I'm still suspect of that running back, Williams, putting the ball on the ground. I think they got flaws. Last time Sean McVay was in a game against you guys, I thought he got conservative in the fourth. And I thought that's how you guys roll back on them. I got question marks on that. I think they're playing great ball right now. By the way, Jared Verse made Tristan Wirfs look like he was Fred Johnson. He fucking annihilated one of the top two left tackles in football. He was a turnstile last night. I'll say this also. CeeDee Lamb, hey, Cowboy guys that are in here right now. Cowboy guy, CeeDee Lamb is overrated. He's overrated. One of my favorite people who was at the Cowboy game, that's the Joe. Listen, man, those pictures of you and your girl were dope, dude. I thought that was great. You had Jerry's World. You had great seats, too. You never want to be, like, on the opposing sidelines because of that scoreboard. You got the right seats. You must have been there before. You want to get end zone seats. Those were great. That's the Jew sent us some pictures. He was great. One of my favorite people. Am I tripping, bud? Don't we always split with the Cowboys and Prescott? He plays great in the regular season. Yes, he does. I wasn't shocked at all. Come on, Dez. You had to be shocked they rolled back on 21 points, though. Okay, you had to be. Okay? Dude, CeeDee Lamb's hands. Every game I've watched him against the Eagles, that guy has like brick hands. He was terrible. Terrible in that game. What do you make of this number that I gave you, though? You guys are clouded and you're trying to take 3 series and trying to tell me that the offense played well. When after that, the next 8 series, you average 4 plays, 13 yards for those 8 series. 34 plays, 107 yards, and no scores. You're trying to tell me? Well, Silza, what's the penalties? Okay, well, that's a unit. The quarterback, the coordinator, the head coach, all of that, you're all in it together. You're not on a separate island. You can't take the quarterback out and go, well, Barkley sucked. No, Hurts is part of the passing and rush game. If you're going to glaze your quarterback for times when he does well, glaze your quarterback when his unit fails. Dak threw the Cowboys out of trouble. He was down 21 points and went on to score 24 consecutive unanswered points. Somebody on offense wasn't doing their job either. It's the entire unit. George Pickens, it has to be one of the most underrated players in the league. Holy shit, was he spectacular. Like, I mean, I thought I was watching Jamar Chase out there. Tap-toeing on the sidelines, getting his feet down the way he did. The way he got open space. Holy shit. And you guys are like, well, we were hurt back there. Fuck that guy. Welcome to the NFL. Last year you overcame that when you had players going in, didn't you? Plus you had Gardner Johnson back there. You had Christian McCollum back there, and you had Gardner Johnson. At the corner position, you had Slay and you had Isaiah. Those players aren't on your team now. And it was evident. This team is incapable of going off script unless Hurts runs. That's it in a nutshell. Here. I'll tell you exactly what it is. The difference between the 2024 and 2025 Philadelphia Eagles, your O-line is no longer the same. You're a top 15 offensive line, and the identity of the football team is no longer with the depth on the team. Howie Roseman, on defense, once again, does not have depth at key positions. You know where? Corner, safety, and edge. Where was your pass rush? I didn't see one. Did you? Where was your pass rush against the Cowboys? Their tackles are sorry. Where was your pass rush? I missed it. I mean, I went back and looked for it. I didn't find it. Hold on. Anybody? What happened to the Cowboys pass rush? Or what happened to the Eagle pass rush? Just curious here. Let me take a look at this. Hey, here's the pass rush. Hey, by the way, congratulations to Kobe Dean. 3 straight games with the sack. He played well, but again, they ripped that zone apart. Dude, look at Dak. Dak was fucking awesome in the game. He was fucking awesome. 23 of 36 for 354 and 2 touchdowns. I mean, it was spectacular. The kid Williams can run the ball too. 20 carry. They outrushed you. They had 31 carries in the ball game. Prescott, that insane dive into the end zone. You know he wanted it. Tremendous. Cowboys got better, man. You know, this game this week against Kansas City could be an elimination game for both Kansas City and the Cowboys. Cowboys win, they go 6-5-1. They're going to have a shot at that 7th seed. No reason to hide, people. I look at this as a division business. We split every year, okay? Why Cowboy wins get so much hype because it's their Super Bowl. That's fair enough, too. By the way, Marsh, I don't think the Cowboys are that good. I think they're okay. They got better. They've totally gotten better. I thought Brian Schottenheimer called a hell of a game, too. I did. Cowboys will trade CD while they still can get a first and second for him. Man, he's so overrated. Every time I watch that guy play against Philly, he's a no-show. Gardner Johnson this week, going to be physical Friday. Oh, he's going to have something to say out there, boy. I'll tell you what. Our offensive coaches aren't skilled enough. They're not. They're just not. Get this. Okay, let me ask you something. Every single time I hear somebody say that game adjustments are overrated, okay, that may be for offensive guys. And you know what people say? I heard John McMullen say this. And you know what it is? Is that offensive guys, there's not going to be a lot of adjustments. On the defensive side, if somebody's running a, I'm just using this as an example. If somebody's running a power eye at you, don't you think you're going to load the box? That's an in-game adjustment. You don't make halftime adjustments. There's no such thing. You make in-game adjustments. What did it? Every single time I ever walked off the field, Dave Wannstedt or Butch Davis would go like this to me. What are they doing? Well, they're trying to reach block. They're trying to get the wide play out wide, and they're trying to get up the field, and they're trying to get, and they're also coming back with counter tray on us. They want to get you on that zone run, or they want to get you on those stretch plays. They want to get you out wide like that, and they want to try to run back inside. That's what they're trying to do. So we'll talk on the sidelines. And we're sitting there and we're talking about what they're doing. So you know what they'll do? They'll go up, talk to Dave. Dave will go like this. We'll play more base then. That's an in-game adjustment to what a team is doing to you. So you're telling me Landon Dickerson and the Eagles couldn't figure out a 5-man front? That old line, with all that experience, that's an indictment on the coaches and Stoutland and them guys. You mean to tell me, for the first time in 5 years of me covering you, the Eagles had no answers for the opponent's front and how they blocked? Since when? Last year, you pile drive teams. It's an indictment on the O-line. It's not Barkley, really. It's not. It's the offensive line. You got murdered at the point of attack. Steen and Landon and Cam were beat again. They were beat. Watch the film. They're getting beat. Can I tell you something? I see you. Cost you? Dallas fans being so hell-bent on trading Lamb after Glay. I'm not trading CeeDee Lamb. I'm with you, Marsh. That's not happening. Hey, Kashu, put that back up what you just put up there. Q covered GP 13 times and only led up 2 catches for 16 yards. Why he didn't follow him all game is beyond me. He destroyed us. He didn't travel. It's true. For me, it's not that they lost. We usually split with Dallas. It's how they lost that has me so pissed off. A blown 21-point lead, no points in the entire half. Again, shits, it's embarrassing, Sills. Right. Costu, where are you? You posted something that's really good. Okay? Okay. Can I tell you something, me watching it a little bit this morning? I don't think the guy wants to get hit. I don't think the guy wants to get hit. And he's playing not to get hit. He's not slamming it up in there because he don't want to get hit. Hey, he might be healthy. He don't want to get hit. Dude, when you run the ball the way he runs the ball, you got to run with an attitude. He ain't running with no attitude. That guy's running like a business. He's like making business decisions. Like, those look like business decision runs. I'm not going to get too hurt here, so I'll go here. Hey, I'm not going to get too hurt, so I go here. Hey, I'm not going to get too hurt, so I'm going to go here. Why did we extend? I asked that question immediately. Why'd you extend them? Get this. 5-5-1, guys. Yeah. Well, I'll turn around and go to Eagle fans. You lost to a 5-5-1 team? A team that's in the middle of the road. And now you combine that with the Giant loss? You can, hey, it's true. You can beat the Rams, but you can also lose to anybody. Because your margins of error, like I told you, are gone. You're right. You lost to a 5-5 football team. I mean, congratulations. And by the way, they put up 24 unanswered on you. 500. Wait a minute. Sorry. You're not looking at it right. You gave up 476 yards and total offense to the Cowboys. Then, because of your incompetence, you gave up another 100 yards in penalties. You gave up 576 yards to the Cowboys in that game on Sunday. 576 yards to a 5-5-1 team. Okay. We're not talking about Green Bay and Detroit and the Rams. We're talking about a team that's barely, if that, going to make the playoffs. Let's not forget, the Bears wrecked that team. The Bears beat up the Cowboys. Did they not? They beat that Cowboys team up. Worst case scenario for us in the draft. Good record, bad team. Dallas is 2. First, we have to win now, Sills. Okay? Yeah. Dallas got destroyed 2 weeks ago by Arizona. Okay? That's not a Bears issue. That's a you issue. Listen to this. Another excuse machine here. Hey, glazed donut. 14 penalties on the Eagles is on you. Well, if we don't get hurt and our guys in the secondary and we don't have the penalties, well, guess what? We probably win the game. Who said that? Where did you get that? I showed you how you were in the second half. The second half. After the first, you have glazed donut eyes saying that you thought you played well. You had 11 series in the game. 11. Holy shit. Hey, welcome to the war of attrition. But Cooper fractured his ankle, needs surgery. Not confirmed season ending, but bad news. Makuba. Sidney Brown. Against Ben Johnson. Key. So Keely Ringo and Sidney Brown are now going to start in your secondary? Hey, another thing. Don't ever tell me that Cooper DeJean can play outside. That conversation is over. Over. He can't play outside. Told you that on draft day. He can play outside, or they would put him out there. Makuba. Fractured. Let me get that right. He fractured his ankle. Homie's done. Now, you could probably put a screw in it, and maybe by the playoffs, time to call up Justin Simmons. That might not be a bad idea right now. Really get joy from Eagles losing and injuries. Thanks for the super chat, dickbag. Yeah, that's it. Joy. Hey, guy, what are you, 4? What are you, 5, 4 years old? Honestly. It's not over, Sills. We'll see. I didn't say it was over. I didn't say that. You hear me say it's over? I said I still think you're one of the better teams in the NFL. By the way, I learned nothing about your football team. Good or bad. I'm not shocked. You are. I've told you. I'm not surprised. This is kind of who you are. You're the only one surprised. Gee, I can't believe that. Well, if you've been listening to the program, we've been telling you that the entire time. Sills just enjoys giving you glazed donuts a reality check. That could be a little. That's not, okay, I'll go there. Yeah, because when the reality is, you have to have these epiphanies and you're like, holy shit, I guess so. Still, it's time for Howie to make drastic changes. Replenish the O-line. Absolutely. Father Time's caught up with Lane. It's time to move on. Makuba done for the season. Who are you putting back in his spot? Sidney Brown? A special teams guy. Okay. That second half was like watching Jalen at Bama. Woo! He still goes through stretches where he can't find receivers, only this time he's not running. You are so right. The reason that Hurts was replaced at Alabama was on display today or yesterday. You know what it is? He'll have stretches where he moves the sticks, and he'll have long stretches where he can't find an open barn door. That's who he is. We're 6 years into this, folks. This is who he is. I mean, after the first 3 series, the next 8 drives, you average 4 plays a drive. 13 yards in 8 drives you averaged. Per drive, 13 yards. I don't care how you glaze it. Try that one. 4 plays, 13 yards for the next 8 series. After those opening 3, penalties, inconsistency, overthrows, sack, all of it played in you giving up 24 unanswered. And you're beating your defense. Your offense is destroying your team right now in front of your eyes. Do you know that? Your offense is systematically destroying your team with this approach. Players are getting injured on defense at a rate we haven't seen in Philly in 5 years. Your offensive line, because of the way you played your style of play a year ago, has pretty much hurt the entire old line. Even the guy in LA is hurt, Becton. These are all facts. These are all facts. Father Time is caught up with Jalen Hurts. Time to move on. Corporate Bay. We need Tanner the worst way. Old man River Hurts. It's a damn fossil. You move on from Jalen Hurts right now, you might as well throw dirt on the box. Is it me or does Jalen look like he's lost speed? So everybody's slow now. Barkley, AJ, Hurts. How about the incompetence of your play calling, too? Let's get to Kevin Patullo. So, I mean, dude, the in-game situational play calling by that guy, I'll tell you what, anytime you get, you know what I don't like about our post-game show? Anytime you bring up play calling, John the White Knight is defending that fucking play calling. And he can defend it all he wants. I just shut up because I'm not going to debate the obvious. You mean to tell me you don't think there's a difference between a guy like Andy Reid and Kevin Patullo in play calling? Because one guy's more experienced than the other. That's like saying like a heart surgeon is not more experienced because he's been on more hearts and he's done more surgeries on hearts than a guy who's brand new out of college. That's what Kevin Patullo is. He's like a guy out of college. If Howie doesn't go out and get Simmons, that tells me everything I need to know about the rest of the season. Thanks, Marsh. I mean, Kevin Patullo, man, barely knows what he's doing. Kevin Patullo's in-game situational play calling, they couldn't run plays against a 5 front. Dude, more teams in the NFL run 5 fronts because they're trying to stop the run. That's basic shit. And you're hearing Landon Dickerson use an excuse. Well, the Cowboys did something that we hadn't seen. Landon, last year it didn't matter what the Cowboys put at you. You ran them over. Well, now they're better. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. I said it on here last week that there's no way the Eagles signed Jalen Hurts to another contract. There's no fucking way. I'm not extending that guy. The guy's limited. Shit's rigged just like the NBA. Why else would the Browns put punt from the 29-yard line? Patullo sucks. So as I watched Washington Huskies game late Saturday night, Jed Fish looked good as a coach for Hurts. Jed Fish is a dear friend of mine. He's actually been on the program. Howard, do you remember him on the show? Jed Fish has been on JAKIB. He was the University of Arizona head coach at the time. Now he's at Washington. We've had him on. I've known him a long time. Did you see people with press passes now calling out Kevin Patullo to be replaced? That's how bad this can't get worse with Nick as OC. Oof. I like the way Tank runs when given the opportunity. He moves the pile. Xander mentioned it. Saquon has better feet. Dude slips with every run. I don't think the guy wants to get hit. Okay? Dan Sileo, you're a clown. About them Cowboys. We beat you all yesterday. Last night. Did you enjoy it, loser sills? Dan is a loser. Congratulations, kid. You won your Super Bowl. Here's your commemorative Vaseline so you can go put this where you need to put it. And make sure you put the Vaseline and the stick in like retro and rector style so it fits up there. Because you know why? I want to congratulate you on your Super Bowl that you won on Sunday. Congratulations to you, kid. It's probably the biggest win you've had in 30 years. This should fit knowing Cowboy fans pretty easily in your rear end. This is probably pretty good because Cowboy fans have had lies stuck up there for what, 30 years? I'm assuming that. Holy shit. Congratulations to you, my friend. What a Super Bowl win. The November Super Bowl. What do you get, a turkey leg? Holy shit. Guarantee you get thumped by the Chiefs this week. You'll be back to being your shitty football team. I mean, look, Dak Prescott was going leg and limb and health and everything, diving into the end zone. Eagles went like this. Hey, by the way, I didn't learn anything different from Philly. I learned everything different about the Cowboys. Hey, they have a heart. After 30 years, my friend Bernie Kosar had a liver transplant. The Dallas Cowboys actually had a heart transplant over the last couple of weeks. I want to congratulate you, Cowboy guy. You had a heart transplant. You went out and got yourself a fucking heart. Way to go. About time. I mean, can you believe it? Dallas Cowboys got themselves a heart transplant. They actually showed up. And they actually gave the Eagles a game. Wow. It only took you 10. I mean, the Cowboy game has been so non-competitive. I was stunned. Unfortunately, I picked you to win. Makuba out for the year. Great. No. Yeah. Hey, Vaso. Try it. It goes right. You like this. And it fits right in, Cowboy. Right there, man. Right in the cow hole. It just fits right in there. That's why the Cowboy guy walks funny. We beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys beat the Eagles. Can you fucking believe it? Holy cow. Cowboy fan is like on cloud 9. Eagle fans like figuring out what the fuck's going on with our team. Cowboy guy's doing this. Hey, how you doing? Look at us now. I was like, man, really? One win. Bro said use the Vaseline. Will Carter ever get penalties called in his favor for him? No. He has a reputation. It's the Draymond Green reputation. Okay? It's the Draymond Green reputation now. By the way, Angelo Cataldi is at 3:30. Gary Cobb is at 4:30. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow at 4:30, Howard Eskin is back. He's at 4:30. And I believe we're getting Brian Westbrook. We got a packed week. Brian Urlacher later in the week. How you doing? Okay? All for your turkey loving. So is that Vaseline too small for Cowboy fans? Using to have their heads up there. Yeah, that's for damn sure. Oh, Coach JB. We'll get a call into him. Absolutely. Oh, and Battle Royale. Sills, Chris Sims says we can't blame Kevin Patullo because Jalen has cut off the offense and made the offense so limited. If this is true, why can't Nick check this? Dude, it is true. Kevin Patullo is not the reason for this. It's the limited abilities of the quarterback. He's limited. When are you going to hear me on this? He's limited. I can't believe those words came out of Landon's mouth. If that's true, I heard it. We're in trouble. All teams have to do is go away from tendency a little, and we can't adjust. That's your coaches. You mean to tell me Jeff Stoutland, all these years, being a great offensive line coach, and you can't block that? Dan, let's be honest here. We get rid of Jalen. That makes you think another quarterback can deal with this consistent change in OC? No. This is why you're leaving Super Bowls on the table here. Okay? You're leaving Super Bowls on the table. You're going to look back on this and go, we went to 2 Super Bowls in 5 years and won 1. You should have went to 3 and won 3. She's explaining to me why nobody on ESPN broadcast about Vegas and money lines. How does a Super Bowl team poop away from a 21-point lead? 14 flags makes no sense. Elaborate, please, if you can. I mean, this happens in boxing. I mean, dude, 21-point lead, 14 flags. You're saying you think there's something to this to bring the game back in it and bring the Cowboys back in it so that the judging at the end here, because they want to keep it kind of close because of Vegas. You know, I used to never believe that shit be true, but I'm seeing too much shit lately. I don't know. I think the NFL's in bed with Vegas now. That never happened. I don't know. We better draft O-line 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds this year. Seals, would you rather let Howie pick a style quarterback for Sirianni and let Howie pick a quarterback for play calling head coach Joe Brady? Listen, Joe Brady would be a great head coach for Jalen Hurts. He'd be a great head coach. He'd be a great head coach. But guess what? That means the organization loses control on the players who play, the style of players. Do you understand why you haven't changed your defensive system and your offensive system for 5 years? It's easier for Howie to find players. It's just plug and play. You bring new coordinators in, you got to rip the entire team apart. You got to rip the entire unit apart. Because that coordinator is going to want to play a certain style. That takes years. This is easier. Change the coach, leave the system. It's like, hey, leave the gun, grab the cannolis. Leave the scheme. Get rid of the coach. Bring a guy in who can coach my scheme. It's easier for me to find players. That's why they don't change anything. Coordinator's the same. Style of play on offense is the same since he got here. Do you think there's any coincidence to that? Even when you hire a passing coordinator like Kellen Moore, he's got to change. And he did change to a run game. When he left, he went back to being a passing guy. Kellen Moore in New Orleans tells you all you need to know how they do business in Philly. He's back to throwing the ball 37 times a game with Spencer Rattler. When he was here, took the ball out of the hands because that's what they wanted. They ran the football. That's how it's going to be. They're not hiring coordinators to help Hurts. Dude, Hurts is limited. I've said that. They're just not coaching him right. Two things can be true. Just two things can be true. Hurts is on the wrong team. Not player-wise, coaching-wise. The coaches don't fit. Nick's a passing guy. KP is a do boy. They're going to do what they have done for 5 years. They're going to throw the ball. They don't trust the quarterback to throw it. How about this? They don't trust the quarterback to throw it consistently. Don't you see and what that game showed you? That game exposed the Eagles and their philosophy. We trust Jalen enough to get us 3 TDs. After that, we don't trust him enough to carry the football team to the end throwing the ball with that style of play for 4 quarters. They stopped. Hey, by the way, how many fucking targets did he get after the first quarter? Does anybody know? How many targets did AJ get? Let me see. Let me take a look at this. AJ got 10 targets. Shit, I would assume most of those were in the first half. How many did he get in the second half? Like 2? 3? Why? Because Because they stopped throwing the ball. Thanks, Sills. To add on, it's a nice coincidence. Dallas and KC both win for Thanksgiving. It makes it so much more interesting for both organizations and fan bases. Yeah, it does. Anyone will talk ref save the Cowboys in this season. Okay, bro. You look like shit after those first 3 drives. Care how you clock it. So we got here. Wait a minute. Are you guys telling me AJ got 6 targets in the first quarter? Is that right? Is that right? AJ got 6 targets in the first quarter. Is that correct? He had 8 for the fucking game. He had 10 for the game. So you're telling me over the next 2, 3, and 4 quarters, he got only 4 more? What's that tell you? Once they got the lead, they told Hurts not to throw the ball. 6 first quarter, only 3 in total for the second half. There it is. Abe, thanks for the call this morning. There it is. Jalen got the lead. Then they stopped throwing the ball. 3 second half targets. Coaches don't believe in the kid. Look. You guys were ripping it off. 21 points. Dallas shooting themselves in the foot. Bang. I mean, I thought the moment was too big for him. All of a sudden, they got away from it. And you know what? Here's what I like football teams to do. And it's a mentality. I'm an animal person. I love animals. Bro, when you got a team that's roadkill and you're killing it, you run it over again. You're making sure that thing doesn't come back to kill you and bite you. You don't let it lay there and get stronger again. You run it over and kill it. Cowboys came back and beat you because you didn't kill them. You let off their throats. And it came back to haunt you. AJ got his 100 yards. No bitching this week. Oh, this is just a sign of things to come. Oh, you guys pushed back on me when I said A.J. Brown's going to be the bad guy. You don't win the Super Bowl, A.J. is going to get the blame for this whole thing. The whole thing. Bad chemistry. I'm going to make a point to you. Bob Lang and the Philadelphia Eagles, by the time he leaves, you'll paint him out to be the next Terrell Owens. Mark that down. You will be calling him Terrell Owens. I see it already. Can't blame your boy. Can't blame your coach. A.J. Brown is going to be castrated by all you Eagle fans. It's going to be like Brutus at the Last Supper. You're going to betray him in the end. You're going to betray him. I know it. You are going to betray A.J. Brown in the end. Because this is what you do to every player. Gardner Johnson, Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, Carson Wentz, Catholic Study and Judas. Thank you. Yes. Just like Judas turning his back on Christ, you're going to turn your back on AJ. And you're going to blame him. Like you did Wentz. Like you did CJ. Like you did Milton. Like you did Sweat. All of it. I've been here to document it. Every time someone leaves, he's an asshole. He was bad. We can replace him. He's a nobody. He'll turn your back on him. Some of you turn your back on Doug. It's what you do. Can't be Hurts. And it can't be Nicky. Okay? Right? He betrays us every freaking week, Sills. Come on, man. Okay? Hey. Are you sure it's him? How can AJ make a play when he gets 3 targets after the first quarter for the remainder of the game? How's that possible, Marsh? How's that possible? AJ's going to make a play when you don't throw the ball to him but 3 times. Over the next 3 quarters, you threw the ball to him 3 times? How's that AJ's fault? I mean, that's him? How can AJ make a play when the quarterback overthrows and he doesn't get any targets? I mean, don't you got to get opportunity? Hey, it's one thing if you get opportunity and you're failing. It's another thing to say, well, the guy fails us and he doesn't get opportunity. I don't think hey, by the way, first half of that football game, I don't think they could defend AJ. Every single time AJ got out, I thought I saw him line up in the slot once or twice too. I saw AJ out there. I'm going like this. They can't defend that guy. They could not defend him. They got away from him. Why? Why did they stop throwing to him? Because they went conservative because they don't trust the quarterback. I'd like to know how many. Hey, Kyle, somebody. How many attempts did Hurts have in the game? He had 39 attempts. I'd like to know how many attempts he had in the second half of that football game when they were up 21-7. I think your offensive line sucks big ones. Do you think that's by design? Yeah. No. In the second half, I'd like to know how many throws he had. I hate your takes, but I will agree. We stopped kicking the dog while it was down. Petula bits out once we got the lead. He waited to lose this game. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, my friend. That once they got the lead, they played not to lose instead of played to kill. Like you did a year ago. Think about this, my friend. Last year, you ran people over and off the scoreboard and out of the building. This year, you're just hanging on. It's wild. You give AJ 6 targets in the first quarter, 21-0. And then you give him 3 more the rest of the game. I mean, hey, and you know what? What is the most significant thing that happens when you don't have a run game? You can't burn time. You're losing the time of possession. You know the only reason why the Cowboys didn't score more points is because your punter was pinning them back inside the Cowboy red zone and the team had 95 yards to go, or the Cowboys, I think, would have scored more points, especially with that place kicker. They kept a good job keeping them pinned. Once that went away, Cowboys started rolling. Hurts, AJ Barkley, and our defense is victim of Howie and Nick. The front office mandates this play through analytics. Also, the O-line is bad. Absolutely true. So it's like hunting a bear or deer, you make sure that son of a gun is dead. Right. I don't want anybody come up and bite me. That's what they did. So again, you're telling me about AJ. You give him 6 targets in the first quarter. After that, you give him 3 for the entire game? By the way, once again, where I was going, you can't control the clock if you have no run game. You were giving possessions. Look at, like I said, look at the chart here. Let me make sure I read this. We needed this loss. Barkley ain't it to close the game. Here, I'm going to give you guys this. Look at this. This is, again, it's important because it's field position and time of possession. 3 plays, 3 and out. How many did you have? You had 1, 2, 3, 3 and outs in the second half. 3 yards or 3 plays, minus 2 yards. 3 plays, 3 yards. 3 plays, 7 yards. And look at the net yards, minus 10. 1, 3, 18, 7, 30, 33, 17. I told you average 13 yards per series over 8 series in 4 plays. You're giving the Cowboys possessions back with penalties, bad play calling, and poor execution. And the inability to run the ball has now starting to destroy your defense. It's inevitable. It's like the sinking of the Titanic. It's only a matter of time. With that style of play, your players are dropping like flies in front of you. You don't see it. Players underperforming. Players now getting... I mean, how many plays did the Cowboys play? Cowboys had 70 total plays. That's not... They held the Eagles to under 60 plays in this game. Yeah, there were 8 drives. 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you had 11 drives in the game. 8 of them were horrible. It produced no yards and no points. And some of them, you were in the Dallas zone. Here, like this one. The Dallas 38. The Dallas 38. I mean, you got a missed field goal and a fumble. Complete collapse. By the way, the Eagle offense gagged. They couldn't close the door. Dak threw them out of trouble. Dak delivered. Dak won the game. Dak didn't choke. The Eagle offense choked. Right? Well, penalties and injuries. Hey, that's a you thing. That's not a Cowboy thing. Okay? Well, if Dak stinks, Hurts is awful. Absolutely. Get this. I think Dak started doing this when he saw CD dropping all them passes. He went to Pickens. Pickens destroyed you. I mean, he was in double coverage on that 50-50 jump balls. He was fucking unbelievable. That guy is a free agent. Holy shit. Is he going to make a team great? Boy, you put that guy's ass in Buffalo. You put him in Chicago. You put him in Seattle. I don't know. I mean, that guy can play, man. I thought he was good. I didn't think he was that good. That guy was insane. How many times was he in double coverage and he was making plays? Dude, I'll tell you what. I mean, Cooper DeJean, didn't he like stiff arm him to the ground? I think he made somebody look like dog shit out there. Hurts is the most overrated quarterback in football. I'll tell you one thing that he definitely is. He cannot in any way, shape, or form play consistent football for 4 quarters. There is no way. Dude, that guy was replaced at Alabama, and it's the same. Let me tell you this, man. So before I get Angelo Cataldi in here, I'm going to show you this. And I've been talking to you guys about it. Here's the first 3 series. Once again, 7 plays, 50 yards, touchdown. Next series, 12 for 76 yards, TD. 6 plays, 66 yards, touchdown. Now, here's the next 8 series with Kevin Patullo, Nick Sirianni, and that stale offensive attack. Listen to me here. 3 plays, -2. 1 play, 1 yard. That's a kneel down and a half. 3 plays, 3 yards. Punt. 6 plays, 18 yards. Punt. 3 plays, 7 yards. Punt. 7 plays, 30 yards. Missed field goal. 6 plays, 33 yards. Fumble. 5 plays, 17 yards. Punt. For the next 8 series, you average 13 yards and 4 plays per series. You want to know why you gave the Cowboys an opportunity? You gave up 476 yards in total offense. Then you gave them another 100 in undisciplined football play with 100 yards and penalties. You gave them almost 600 yards in 70 plays to come back and beat you in an epic collapse. I'll tell you what, I say this to you, in this system and the way that they play, Jalen Hurts is limited. And I'll tell you why, because they're coaching him wrong. They've got the wrong coaches on the sideline for him. When they coach him in an RPO and he's out running the way he is, he's a weapon. When you put Nick Sirianni's buddies and pass-happy guys in the room, you get this inconsistency. They're hiring coordinators for Nick, not Hurts. Okay? Hey, what's your record over the last 7 games? 4-3? Bullshit, man. The Cowboys are 4-5-1. I mean, that's not a team that's going to go deep in the playoffs. That's a mid-level team. At best. All right. Hey, Angelo was calling this guy Bobo at the beginning. You know, I think he was off a week because he said they would go into this, slide. I didn't realize it would be a collapse and the beginning of what looks like a little bit of 2023. And you know what you're doing also, Chip Kelly? Oh, excuse me. Nick Sirianni? Hey, Nick, you know what you're doing? You're coaching like Chip Kelly. You know why? All the shit you're doing right now is killing your defense. Without further ado. And he took a little time out of Turkey Week because, I'm not allowed to call him every 2 weeks. I'm every 2 weeks, I get the respite. I'm one of the only guys that gets the respite. So I called him. He goes, listen, all right. Okay, I've got some stuff to say here. Make sure you check out AngeloCataldi.com. He is my friend. Angelo Cataldi, WIP and Philadelphia legend. How you doing, Angelo?
I'm good, Dan. I just read, you can't see it, but I have an IV in case I dehydrate from doing this extra shift. But it is a time of panic in Philadelphia. So I guess if ever you got to do one, it's after the Eagles blow a 3-touchdown lead over the hated Dallas Cowboys. It doesn't get a lot worse than this in Philly. Doesn't get much worse. Wow. Woo.
What was your biggest takeaway though? I mean, they were hitting on all cylinders, Angelo. I mean, and all of a sudden, get this. Here's something we just looked up. So AJ gets 6 targets in the first quarter, and for the remainder of the game, he would get 3. Why don't they stop doing what they're doing and get off the gas pedal and not put the team to sleep that they're killing?
Because the 15 to 20 plays are scripted. They were already set up. They're done with the entire coaching staff. And then you get beyond that, and the defense is adjusting. The Cowboys were actually trying this thing they call adjusting in the course of the game, which is something that the Eagles, especially offensively, are no good at whatsoever. And you were just reeling off those last 8 series, Dan. You left out one ingredient. The team that was totally smothering this incredibly talented Eagles offense was ranked 30th in the NFL in yards allowed. And they totally shut down the Eagles with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and Shaquan Barkley and Jalen Hurts running the show. They were completely, totally de-weaponized. Very rare. Could that even happen? I think at this point, you got to give Kevin Patullo a little credit here. He did what appeared impossible. He shut down the Eagles' offense better than any defense has in the entire season, right? And then I knew, Dan, I swear to God, I said this out loud. Only my dog heard me yesterday. But after the 3rd touchdown, they panned to the sideline. And there's Sirianni with Patullo, and they're doing that high five where they land, they get it in the middle of their elbows, the elbows cross, and I went, oh my God, this looks like 2 frat guys that just opened up a new keg. You know, they just tapped the keg. They look like they're in a frat house, these 2 jackasses. And I swear to God, in that moment, I said, uh-oh, they're feeling it. They look at each other going, man, we got this figured out. We are killing this thing. And they couldn't sniff the end zone the next 8 series. Unbelievable. That's the ineptitude. I called him in my the thing today, Bozo and his Bobo, because you got Sirianni, this clown on the sideline, screaming after every friggin' call. And even ones that are obvious he's yelling about. And then you got Patullo over there who's looking down at oh, what am I going to call now? Oh, God, it's not scripted. I'm screwed. I got nothing to call. Oh, my God, I can't. What am I going to do? It's just the miracle is not that the Cowboys came back to 1. The miracle is that they were 8-2 before that. What you saw in the second half was ineptitude. The way it's simple. I've said this to you before, Dan. The games are on TV. Yeah, you can look at the final score. You can look in the standings. You can see you have a great record. But if you won the games and you know football a little bit, not a lot, a little bit, you know these guys are bumbling fools. And that is inevitable that without Kellen Moore there to protect Sirianni, they're screwed. They are screwed. What you saw yesterday is proof positive that no matter what their record is, when they face a smart coach, they're screwed. It will happen again soon.
Angelo, do you believe Barkley? Hold up, let me back up. Do you think they will make a replace? Do you think Kevin Patullo lasts through the year? Do you think Nick will take over? Or do you think that they'll keep him until the offseason because they don't want to be made to look bad? They're going to replace this guy. Make no mistake about it at the end.
Yeah. By the way, last week, the funniest story of the year. Series stories. Tulo now considered one of the top potential candidates for head coaching jobs. Does anybody watch the games? Does anybody see this guy? That team this year is averaging 21 points a game. Last year, with a different coordinator and pretty much the same personnel, 29 points a game. You're going to give that guy. Well, then I walk, wait a minute. They gave Jonathan Gannon one 3 years ago. He couldn't stink any more than he does right now. He's 3-8. They're talking about getting rid of him. He's awful. And now, this guy would actually, I think, be worse. So that's so I don't see, there's no way out of it. The Eagles may no longer let Patullo call the plays. They will not announce it. I do not believe they will face the same thing they did a couple of years ago when they did it with
Brian Johnson.
Well, I do not believe, Dan, that they will announce again that when they hired a Sirianni friend as offensive coordinator, they had to replace him during the season. So I don't think you'll hear that announcement. But first of all, I feel no relief at the concept that Sirianni would call plays.
No.
He sucked at it. He wasn't any good at it. He quit it after 7 games.
Yeah,
so this problem we have is there anybody there who knows how to do it?
No.
Because the one guy that does is in New Orleans getting his ass kicked right now with a bad, Kellen Moore. I don't know. Shane Steichen could come back. He would be able to do it. But there aren't that many. They haven't employed any that seem like they have a knack for calling plays. And I'm going to tell you something, Dan. I had a long conversation with a man you and I both admire, Ray Dininger. And I talked to him about an article last week that was in NJ.com. It was an account of a podcast with Ross Tucker, who's an NFL announcer. He's a really bright guy, former player, and Cosell, the nephew of Howard Cosell, and a brilliant NFL film breakdown.
Really good on quarterbacks.
Cosell said he cannot recall a more rudimentary, a more basic offense than the Eagles have right now, because none of the pass patterns are interrelated. There's no crossings. There's no deception to try to get a receiver open. And he said, as a result of that, basically, receivers are going down. They're trying to find a hole in the zone, or they're trying to beat a guy one-on-one, but they're not getting any help with the scheme whatsoever. Zero. And then you've got Barkley, who there's no room to run anymore, but they continue to get him in the middle where there's no room to run. They're not trying to get him outside enough. They're not trying to find a way to get him in open territory, and that's a problem there. These are such simple, basic offensive concepts, which they are not grasping because they brought in the best friend of the head coach. The people that really need to be talking to, we need to be talking to, are not Sirianni, who'll never say a damn thing, or Patullo, who does whatever Sirianni tell him. You got to go ask Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie, the GM. How did you end up doing this? Why did you do that? Howie, you put together arguably the most talented Eagles roster in its history, the history of the franchise, and you got a guy running it who has no idea what he's doing. It's monumental. It's crazy. The panic in the streets of Philadelphia, Dan, today is 100%. Yeah, you should be panicking right now because you saw. And here's the other thing, all right? After the game, social media was on fire about Patullo and how stupid he is and how dumb his play calling is and how Sirianni is enabling it. When the hell is the media ever going to ask the question the fans want asked? Hey, Nick, could you explain the play calling after the first 3 series? Could you tell us what was going on? Hey, you weren't calling the plays, were you? Then what did you see? That's what you saw. Because that was a bad defense completely shutting down an incredibly explosive offense. Can you explain to us why that happened? Those guys, I don't want to ask that. He might get upset. Not that he would answer it. Don't get me wrong. There's not a chance in hell that Sirianni would give you a straight answer to a fair question. But you still got to ask. It's a disgrace.
It is. Angelo, let me ask you then, does the 14 penalties and the 96 yards in penalties, all I hear every week is Nick talking to me about some culture, about the little things, and about all this. I mean, isn't that discipline on your football team when you're getting pre-snap penalties? You know what? I tell people this all the time. You know what a pre-snap penalty is? That's like knowing where to sit down in a chair at the dinner table. I mean, it's the basic thing of lining up in a technique. It's either a 3 technique for me, a 2-1-0. It's one of those 4 techniques. That's just lining up. That's nothing to do with talent, execution. That's preparation. Isn't that on the coach on preparing these guys? If you're that unsure of what you're doing with that many penalties, that to me is preparation on coaching.
And that's the one area, offensive line, we're pretty sure they have good coaching, Jeff Stoutland. So what did Patullo do?
It's the play calling.
This stuff wouldn't happen in a Stoutland thing unless something else. There was another component here that Stoutland could not control, and that's your coordinator. No, I'm telling this Patullo, he's in uncharted territory now. He's got a chance to be the worst assistant coach in Eagles history. Because listen to him talk. If he cannot communicate in a way that is understandable to us humans, what are the chances he's communicating effectively with the people he's coaching? Could you tell me that? He's there for one reason, because he knows that fancy high five with his frat boy. His frat buddy. Let's do. We're 21-0. We got this one. Nothing. Rest of the game, nothing. Embarrassing.
Angelo, I had on a coach a couple days ago, and he was talking to me about how you've got to be in line with your offensive coach and your offensive line coach, and whether you're going to run the ball. Mark Trestman, his name was. And he was on.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a coordinator all over the league. And I said, what's the number one thing that you wanted to do as a coordinator? He goes, I had to get with my offensive line coach, and I had to make sure we were on the same page in how we were going to run the ball and pass protection. Number one. I'm wondering again, now that you just mentioned it, Jeff Stoutland is considered one of the greatest offensive line guys.
He is.
Jeff Stoutland must be looking at Kevin Patullo going, there's the disconnect right there in the run game. It's because Patullo doesn't know what he's doing. He's over his rails. He's trying to communicate with the offensive line coach. How could that offensive line? It's one thing to say Barkley's lost a step. The entire 5 guys aren't blocking right. How can all 5 not be good?
I think that might have to do with coaching it. I'm going to guess this. All right. Again, I have no sources on this. I would expect sometime this week, Jeff Stoutland, who suffers no fools, to at some point this week have Kevin Patullo in a headlock and saying, I'm gonna throw you to the ground if you don't learn how to do this freaking job, because you're not just killing all this talent on this unit. You're making me look bad. And Stoutland, this stuff doesn't happen. Now, there's another thing, though. Matt Pryor, I just got to get him in, because that guy has sucked for 5 years now here. I mean, you want to talk about a bad football player. Let's start with Matt friggin' Pryor. He's been a scrub for 5 years. Whenever he comes in, he's a walking holding penalty. Somewhere in the first 10 snaps, there'll be a hold against Matt Pryor. Yesterday, jackass nullifies a big play. One of the few big plays in the second half, because he's got the lineman and he's got his hand under his helmet and he's lifting. It's so friggin' obvious. A blind guy could see it. And instead of the big gain, 20 yards, they end up going back 10. It just, the stupidity. 14 penalties. in a game. Dumb ones. Most of them are dumb penalties. And again, lack of discipline, poor coaching. Yeah, these guys right here, man, Sirianni gives you the same crap after every game, Dan. He needed to come out yesterday and say, this was on us. This was the coach. He needed to say it instead of the same boilerplate crap. We're all on a team. We're all responsible. We all take the fall together. Bull crap. All right. We're watching the game. That was so badly coached. It was incredibly badly coached. And that was the big story of yesterday.
Absolutely. Angelo, what about this one here? You have known this fan base. And by the way, because I said some things last week about the offense, and boy, Philly got very upset with me last week. And it came out and it showed its head in this game on Sunday. I think this will happen because, as you know, this organization loves themselves some scapegoats. If they don't win the Super Bowl, they're not going to scapegoat Kevin Patullo. They're going to scapegoat A.J. Brown for this thing here, in my opinion.
Right.
They're going to pick, and Philly fans are going to treat him like Wentz out the door. They're going to treat him like Gardner Johnson out the door. They're going to treat him like Milton Williams out the door, Josh Sweat. All these guys become vipers to some of the fan base. Not all of them, but some of the fan base. Because this is what this organization is. Do you think that they'll make Patullo the scapegoat, or do you think they'll make A.J. Brown the scapegoat?
Well, Patullo, if Patullo makes it through another year, I'm going to give him status as a cockroach in a nuclear war. If he survives this, my God, are you kidding me? He can't. No one can survive this. So he's going to go. I wouldn't call that a scapegoat. I would call that a failed experiment. So I wouldn't call it that. You are right. You're dead on Brown being the guy for a simple reason. This organization hates people that rock the boat. That's why last year, the safety, you just mentioned it. That's why he's not here. Gardner Johnson's not here because he was a boat rocker, right? The reason Sirianni can survive for years to come is that he doesn't rock boats. He kisses asses. He's an ass kisser. And he will do lots of that, and they will still enjoy his company. But if you are somebody who is not preaching the gospel of Jeff Lurie and Howie Roseman, you're probably putting a target on your back. You're 100% right. Now, here's what you're going to know, though. Did you watch the first series or two?
Yes.
When Brown was running amok all over the field. That's what he is capable of. That man who did all that, there was a game where he had 3 targets in the whole friggin' game. And the third one wasn't even called by Patullo. It was called by Hurts. Late in the fourth quarter, they tried a long one. Right? That a guy with that talent, you have to throw him the freaking ball. And not, you said 3 times after the first 3 series. Yeah, keep throwing him the ball. It works. What do you think? He does. Yeah, so let's get rid of him. And we'll keep the people who tell us how brilliant we are and how the people we can all hang out with and be happy. Screw that. You know what? I don't have to like the guys I'm working with. I just have to know they bring something to the table. And that guy, A.J. Brown, he had every right to be pissed off. You saw it in the first series alone. When you throw him the ball, he makes plays. So throw him the bleeping ball.
Do you think Barkley's lost a step?
Well, wow. Now I got to say, I watched the post-game show on NBC Sports Philadelphia, and they have a guy on there who is a breakout star. This guy is doing some of the best analytical work I've seen in Philadelphia in the last decade. Jason Avant, former Eagle receiver.
Yeah.
And he said, and he doesn't hold back at all. Those players, they're like still part of the fraternity.
Yeah.
Not this guy. And he goes, what I would have sees, he said, is a guy who's no longer running hungry. He's looking to get out of bounds. He's looking to hit the ground quicker. He's not using the fancy moves he used in other years. And he said, the way he's interpreting it, Jason Avant, and I take his word on this, He said, hey, Barkley got his ring, he got his money. Now he's getting the extra money with endorsements. I'm going to take it a little safer now. I'm going to play safer. He doesn't look nearly. Here's the amazing part. Tank Bigsby. Who is that guy, right? He's averaging 9 yards a carry this year.
Yeah.
He carried the ball once, 8 yards.
18 carries, 9 yards a carry.
Right? 9 yards a carry. And he got 8 yards in one carry and 22 yards in 10 carries. Yeah, 22 yards in 10 carries. Well, what does that say to you? I mean, something's not working with Barkley this year, even though I'll grant you one of the biggest factors is the line. Last year, when Barkley had the ball down, no one touched him for an average of 3.6 yards. This year, 1.7. It's a massive difference.
I'll tell
but
you
he's
what
not running his route.
How about this, Angelo? I said this in the first hour, and I didn't hear Jason's comments, but I said the same thing in a way, but I said it different. I think Barkley's making business decisions.
Yeah.
Those are business runs where he don't want to get hit anymore. I mean, he had 400-something carries, 470 last year. Sometimes when you get into that position, you don't want to get hit anymore, Angelo. You just, the reason why he's tapping behind the line of scrimmage, he's looking for the easy hole. He's looking for the run. And when it's not there, because he doesn't want to get hit, because he didn't get hit a year ago. I mean, he's making business decisions right now.
He is. And you know what you do if you're the offensive coordinator with an actual functioning brain? You work the other guys in a little, because I'll tell you how that works. Let's say we give Biggs a couple of series Friday against the Bears, and he reels off a couple of good runs. That kicks in the pride in the other guy. And the other guy goes, well, now he's like making me look bad, and now maybe you give a little more, But right now, the fact that he has been so much less effective is not just the line. It's him too. It's the whole thing is broken down. No question about it. They got to do something about it, because they're not going to go anywhere without him playing the way he did last year.
Angelo, do you think you're seeing a little bit of Chip Kelly with Nick's philosophy that what you're now starting to see, by the way, Makuba has a fractured ankle and he's lost for the season. And so, I mean, now you've got more issues on depth that's in the secondary now. It looks like Adoree Jackson's probably, because of concussion stuff, won't be ready for the Black Friday game against the Bears, who, by the way, are 8-3 now. And if they win that game, Angelo, they're in the 2-hole. And now the Eagles slide to the 3-hole in the playoffs here. I mean, do you see the offense's inability to maintain drives and keep the ball moving and keep the clock moving, that it's wearing that defense out now?
Without a doubt. They lead the league in 3-and-outs.
Yep.
They have more 3-and-outs than any team in the NFL, even the really awful ones. Oh, what does that tell you? With all that talent, you
like the Titans. You're down with the Titans.
3-and-outs. What does that tell you? No, the fact is, all of it points to one thing. You got to get better play call. You got to have better strategy. Not just first quarter, in the whole freaking game. And the more they fail, the more they're 3-and-out, the more you roll back. Jordan Davis, Jalen, all the big boys in the middle, you're wearing them down. And it's not the injuries. Reed Blankenship, any word on him, because he's the leader back there. They got to have him. When he went out, that made a massive difference in the secondary. So I'm just saying to you, the fails of the offense are going to hurt the defense more and more as the season wears down. And that's why you can have one bad hire like Patullo, and it's like a cancer that runs through the entire roster. That's how they're killing those guys, because that's a very good defense, although now they're starting to feel the injuries. They really hadn't until this point that much. Now they're starting to get the injuries.
Two last ones here. Hugh Douglas made a comment on WIP today. He said that, and I'm paraphrasing this, he said that Jalen Hurts is picking to be a leader when he wants to be.
No, that's bull. I don't buy that. That's crap. I don't buy it. And I love you. I loved working with you. He's wrong. All right. Jalen Hurts is committed to what he's doing. When I had this conversation with Ray Didinger, he really took me inside the psychology of the Eagles have taught Hurts over the past couple of years. They have trained Hurts to never risk a throw that could be picked off. Now, occasionally one's going to get, it's going to get hit at the line or whatever, but he's got one interception the whole year. That's almost impossible.
It is.
With all
500 attempts. It's incredible.
So how do you explain it? Well, when he's back there, double, triple pumping, looking for somebody to be open, it's because unless they're really open, he's not going to throw them. And that's how he got to this spot where he's not turning the ball over. They convince themselves the only thing you have to do is win the turnover battle, you win the game. Well, that happened a lot. They're 8-3. Must have worked some of the time. But they've reprogrammed him so now he takes no chances. And as a result of that, he'll take the 3 and out. He'll throw the ball out of bounds. He'll do whatever he takes other than putting that ball up at risk. And I think they've gone too far. Yeah. I think now he is not taking the risks. He's still a great deep ball guy. Man, can he throw that deep ball great. But to me, you got to loosen the reins a little. Let him have some fun. But you, Douglas, I do not agree at all that he is picking his spots. I believe he is as committed to winning as any athlete I saw. And I was in sports media for over 50 years. His commitment is real.
Do you believe, Angelo, that this is my take. You may disagree. I don't think that they trust Jalen Hurts to go 60 minutes if they had to go into an air raid type attack. I think of what you just said. They've conditioned him to do this because didn't it play out this way? AJ got 6 targets in the first. They had 21 points. And then what they did, they pulled the reins back. He got 3 targets the rest of the game. Yep. 3 targets. True. Now, was that more on them not believing in Hurts, or is that more on the style that they believe?
The style. It's clearly the style. They changed the way. This was as close as anybody in the media came to asking Sirianni about whether he changed his philosophy when he got the big lead. And of course, he never acknowledged. He won't tell you anything. But the bottom line is, yeah, they super conservative. And it ended up that all they kept doing was wearing down their defense with 3 and outs, not making any yards, putting these other guys back on the field where they didn't need to. When you have a bad play caller, it affects every part of it. And by the way, Xavier Gibson, all right, back there, he was an awful punt returner on the Jets. The Jets are a rotten team. He was they caught him, and the Eagles are putting him back there in that spot. B, you don't catch the ball at the 2-yard line. Holy moly.
I couldn't believe that.
And he's holding it out. He's not running with care. Yesterday, if you believe in intelligence in sports, and you watch the way the Eagles lost, you know that they lost because their IQ went right in the old hole. It was awful. They were brutal. They should all be ashamed that they let that happen because this city will be in mourning, not for the next 5 days till the game on Friday, for the rest of the season, because that was the friggin' Cowboys. And at the end, when they showed Jerry Jones in the luxury box, with his smile on his surgically repaired face and his toque perfectly set. He was so joyful. That dagger in the heart of every Philadelphia sports fan. A dagger in the heart. And we don't forget when stuff like that happens. And we blame people. And they're getting it today good.
Oh, my God. I have one last one here. How's Jeffrey Lurie? I got it. How's Jeffrey Lurie taking it?
Well, I think I heard he's so upset he wasn't looking through the catalogs for new yachts this week.
Yeah. He's looking for a rowboat now.
I believe he was so upset. He went, "Wow, maybe I should look at this thing here. See this moron we brought in as an offensive coordinator, and worry later about the poop deck or whatever the hell they got."
Angelo, as always, it is wonderful. And I'm sorry for exhausting you. And I
No
know
problem.
that, you're really, this did 2 weeks in a row, man. I want you to have a wonderful Thanksgiving, you and your lovely family, man.
You too,
I
man.
really appreciate you all the time. And I want to thank you again for
No
really
problem.
sucking it up here.
Rob Thompson just texted me. He said, "I'm way over my word count. So I'll see you in January." All right.
That is Angelo Cataldi, man. Absolutely love him, man. Make sure you check out angelocataldi.com. How you doing? Holy shit. Hey, you guys remember when we put Tressman on? I'm starting to get an idea now. I think we're going to have to get Mark Tressman on again. What was the one thing that he said that every offensive coordinator has to be is on the same page with his O-line coach? I heard Xander say something about Jeff Stoutland. He's not having a good year. How much is Kevin Patullo affecting Jeff Stoutland? Don't you think a poor offensive coordinator would affect an offensive line coach if he's not calling the right plays? I'm going to get to the super chats. I saw some of them going during I saw some of the supers going towards or during the interview with Angelo. By the way, Gary Cobb will be with us at the bottom, and Xander's going to join us right after. You really think Jeff Stoutland's a bad coach now, and he's not having a good year? Or is Kevin Patullo affecting him? Mark Tressman told you, got to be on the same page in the run game, got to be on the same page in pass protection. If you're not with your O-line, you're all over the place with your play calling. That's kind of what you're seeing here. Right? That's kind of what you're seeing. Who's responsible for knowing Dallas uses a 5-man front because someone messed that shit up? So if Jeff Stoutland and the offensive line and I think Landon's taking shots at Kevin Patullo. Dallas did something different. I'm going to paraphrase. Dallas did something different. Okay? They did something different. We had troubles with it. You think Jeff Stoutland had trouble with a 5-man front? I think Kevin Patullo had troubles with the 5-man front and calling plays to get the run game going. That's how now I'm taking it. That's why when John goes, what's that about? I think that has everything to do with Landon calling out Kevin Patullo. Jeff Stoutland is a great coach. All of a sudden, he sucks. There's a reason every one of those guys are making north of $20 million. What's different? Kevin Patullo's different. Not Jeff Stoutland. Xander, we had some supers during the Angelo interview here. So, Seals, looking at how this team is now, what do you think the team should do this offseason in the draft? Because it's hard to imagine that we're going to pull our head out of our asses here with this team. I think you have to totally address the offensive line. I still think you have to address corner. And I would even address a running back in the draft. I look for a running back. Pickens is staying in Dallas. Why would I stay in Dallas when I'll never make more than CeeDee Lamb? You think Jerry Jones is going to turn around and pay Pickens more money than CD? Not likely. So you're going to have two $40 million wide receivers. Is that correct? Yeah, right. Not happening. have two $40 million receivers when you need two offensive tackles. That's not happening. I think the Eagles need a running back. At some point, sacks matter, pressures are great, but your best guys need to get home. I can't justify paying Carter top money for crap production. How do you think he played in that game? How do you think Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis played in that football game? How do you think he played? Let's take a look at that. Go to team stats here. Dallas Cowboys rolled up 473 yards in total offense. 348 yards in passing, 125 yards in rushing. On 31 rushing attempts at 4 yards a clip. Every metric, the Dallas Cowboys beat the shit out of the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles ran the ball for 63 yards in the ball game. Dak threw the football how many times? 36 times in the ball game. Time of possession was right down the lane. But of course, turnovers. Your margin of error. When you have turnovers and 14 penalties, you are going to lose. Let me take a look at that defensive line. Take a look at some of the numbers here on the D-line, guys. Okay. Here we go. Zach Bond was kind of okay. Jordan Davis had a TFL, probably played the best of all of them. They had one sack in the ball game, and that was by Nakobe Dean. One sack. Dak was getting the football out quick too, by the way. He was. I thought, without a doubt, I thought Dak Prescott played his ass off. He was fantastic. I think the KP story about head coaching job is made up from the organization in a polite way to saying you're not welcome back next year. Funny you say that. I threw this out last week that everybody was taking a crap on Kevin Patullo. I think that Bob Lang put that story out, that Kevin Patullo is a top candidate to be a head coach in the upcoming coaching cycle. I think they did that just for everyone to get off Kevin Patullo's back, that he was a coaching candidate, which is not true. He's not. If anybody watches the game and they put on the tape, they know he's terrible. So wait a minute. Let me get this right. The Eagle offense is worse than it was a year ago in every metric. But he's now going to get a head coaching job? Hey, for that matter, I really don't think Kellen Moore was that hot last year. Hey, Saquon, run for an historic number. Oh, by the way, let's put the passing game in the garage. It's not good anyway. Okay. Sills, what the fuck, Sills? He was blaming Hurts. It's his offense. Oh, I see. Here's Bruce. Here's another Jalenite. Dude, that's the quarterback's offense. If you allow 21 points to go away and you can't keep drives going, you shit all over Josh Allen for that stuff. No matter how many touchdowns he gets. You can't keep drives going. You can't keep a 21-point lead. That's on your ass too, dude. You're part of the unit. You're not on an island when things are going great. And then you're turning around and then, okay, you're not. Bruce, you give the guy flowers when he does well, but when the unit doesn't do well, everyone else sucks but him? Come on, dog. Come on. Oh, by the way, Sue, Welcome to Josh Allen's world. Except this, he ain't losing a 21-point lead. Hurts did to a 4-5-1 fucking Dallas Cowboy team who was 30th in defense. How you doing? I think the Trestman take is more justified than blaming Hurts. Okay, is he not the head of the offense? Is that not his offensive football team? Barkley said to Chris Long, he'd have Barry Sanders when he's ready to retire. Push Jalen's legs more into the game. He's a glorified running back. Use it. I'm with you. I think the team performs better when he is part of the running game. Allen isn't top 5. Right. Well, guess what, Guy? You're the only one that believes that. Guy won the most valuable player award a year ago. And only you would think that. Not even your own coaches think that. Yeah, get this. Not even your own Philadelphia Eagle coaches believe that. Dog, I was talking about Petula. You said he was a good coach, and it's on Hurts. I said Kevin Petula was a good coach. I don't ever remember saying, oh, I may have said this. Kevin Petula is irrelevant. This is what they want to do. Kevin Petula is a yes man. He's following what Nick wants and what the organization wants. I wonder what the Eagles' record is when Hurts has more rushing yards than the running back. No points in the second half. How many games are you going to win with that? Hey, and also with the way that you ran the football and the plays that were here were just atrocious. Oh, hey, by the way, that's right. People are now listening to what I'm saying. You're going to all shit on A.J. Brown. Remember I said it. November 24th, 2025. Like Judas, you're going to bail on him. And you're going to blame him for 25. When he's been telling you the whole time, these problems are not going to go away. And it bit you in a game you should have easily won. Easily. Why didn't you just keep blowing the team off the field? You stopped. You let off the gas pedal. AJ's not wrong. You know what the problem is? AJ is talking. You're not allowed to talk in that organization. You can't speak your mind because Bob Lang is going to have you come, even if you're a media guy, you can't speak your mind because here's what's going to happen. Bob's going to call your company. Bob's going to make you walk it back. Bob's going to make the players walk it back like he does every week. And before you know it, everybody's apologizing for something they said in the emotion of the game. How many times have you heard Eagle players walking shit back that they said right after the game, including Jalen Hurts? They beat everyone up. But everyone continues to talk shit on Brian Johnson. Of course they do. Why do they talk shit on Brian Johnson? The same way people will talk shit on AJ. He's a scapegoat. And the Eagles are getting ready to paint this up, and AJ will be escorted out of the building. And a guy who brought you so much success, you're going to villainize this guy like you did Terrell Owens. I'm not saying T.O. didn't deserve it. This guy doesn't. And you're going to turn him into an asshole. It's already starting. It's already starting. You're turning this guy into the scapegoat. If they lose come March, A.J. Brown will be dealt. It'll be dealt. Kevin Petullo's a head coaching candidate. Okay? Why is that? because they want everyone to believe and have this illusion that the play caller is a really good coach. He's not. Hey, and for the record, I've never heard a player say that AJ's wrong. They hate that he's talking so loudly. You know, when Nick talks about that bullshit culture of his? How about this one, folks? Nick's bullshit culture. How do you explain 14 penalties and 96 undisciplined penalty yards? That's pre-snap shit. That's preparation. Do you know where to fucking line up or not? Do you know when a wide receiver is covered and you've got to report to the ref? Do you know? Do you know what you're talking about? Do you know what you're doing? Yes. Okay. Well, explain to me the 14. Isn't that fucking culture he talks about? Look at this fucking loser. Where is this guy? Let's see if this guy can explain 14 penalties and 96 yards. He can't, because you know why? He's a la douche. He's a glazed donut. He's an eagle glazed donut. Hey, I'll have one of those. What's on it? Kelly Green. Oh, I'll eat it. Of course you will. What's in it? Who gives a shit? It's Kelly Green. Hey, I'll eat that glazed fucking donut. Whatever's on it, I'll eat it. Why? Because it says Eagles and it's Kelly Green. Guy's a fucking glazed donut. Why the hell is Bigsby getting 2 carries a game? Because you're paying the other guy $20 million per. That's why. If you pay him, you're going to play him. Always remember that. Here he is right here, baby. There he is. This guy right here, the ultimate glazed donut. We got another one here. He's in the M. Reyes Club. I walk on knees. He's like in the Fakawi tribe. He walks around on knees. That's his new Indian name. On knees. Barkley's washed. How about your old line being destroyed? You think that's a problem? Barkley is washed. I think it's that offensive line. Guess what, Philly? You know what's happened? Right in front of your eyes. Your identity's been taken from you. You've been known for one thing. O-line. Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, Saquon Barkley, all Pro Bowlers. O-line made every one of those guys Pro Bowlers. Now, you got toilet bowlers. And your offensive line, the pride of Philadelphia, gone. You could put Barry Sanders back there. Won't matter. Your O-line's gone. Gone. I'll say it again before we get JAKIB on. 2 things are different from last year. The pride of Philadelphia is gone. You know where? In your O-line. That's what made you you. You know where else? You don't have Isaiah Rodgers. You don't have the backups you had a year ago. Look at the nosedive. And before I get JAKIB on, I don't know if he knows the news. Angelo Makuba broke his ankle. He fractured it. Now you're even lighter going into this game on Friday against the Chicago Bear team. I heard John go like this. Yeah, the Eagles haven't killed anybody except the New York Football Giants. Wow. An epic collapse, to say the least. And I'm going to read this to Gary here We're going to bring him up now. Cobb, I appreciate you doing this, brother. Thank you so much. Gary, I want to show you something here before, and then I want to let you comment on this here. So I started my program off with this. Here's the first 3 drives of the Philadelphia Eagles in this game against the Cowboys. 7 plays, 50 yards, touchdown. 12 plays, 76 yards, touchdown. 6 plays, 66 yards, touchdown. Now, here's the following 8 drives for the remainder of the game. 3 plays, -2, punt. 1 play for 1 yard, end of half. 3 plays, 3 yards, punt. 6 plays, 18 yards, punt. 3 plays, 7 yards, punt. 7 plays, 30 yards, missed field goal. 6 plays, 33 yards, fumble. 5 plays, 17 yards, punt. In the first 3 series, you average 25 plays and you average 64 yards a series. In the last 8, you averaged 4 plays, 13 yards for the remainder of the game every time you touch the football. I mean, and in fact, Gary, it's affected the defense where you're starting to see the Chip Kelly factor a little bit, where those guys are being affected on that side of the ball. Give me your takeaways on what you witnessed yesterday and some of those numbers there.
Well, I think that the big thing is, this has really kind of exposed the fact that they can't run the football. They cannot run the football because if you get a 21-point lead on somebody, and you run the ball, somewhat effectively, most of the time, it's going to be very tough for them to come back. But, I think the Eagles got exposed. I mean, the fact that, they really weren't able to put a lot of pressure on Dak. The defensive line didn't have a great game. And the secondary, they got carved up pretty good. But the big thing, though, is that offensively, because, the offense, to just fall apart like that, where, you come out, you're moving the ball effectively, you're scoring and everything, and then it's just shut down. And really is because they're one-dimensional. They can only the passing game has to work. They do not have a running game, and I really don't like the way I think that Saquon in a way, he's looking for the big run. These guys have not been blocking anything for the big run. You got to get what's there. So if there are 4 yards there, you got to get those 4 yards. That's the way they got to play. I just don't think that.
You don't think Barkley's washed?
No, I don't think he's washed. No, I don't think he's washed.
How about this one, Gary? Let me ask you this though.
Remember it was a couple games ago when they did open up a hole. Boom, he took it to the house. But I don't see. I think it's the offensive line. They're just not. They're not the same offensive line.
You know what? I had Mark Trestman on, and he said this to me. I go, what's the most important thing for a new offensive coordinator when you roll into a building? He goes, I've got to get on the same page with the offensive line coach. I've got to know blocking schemes, and I have to know pass protection. For me to be able to have situational play calling. Mm-hmm. Gary, I wonder right there, is Jeff Stoutland then all of a sudden become a bad coach? This guy's one of the best offensive line coaches in all of pro football. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's the disconnect in the offensive approach? Is that Jeff Stoutland and Kevin Patullo are not on the same page? Because the running game, like you said, either Barkley's washed or they're running plays that don't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've known each other. I mean, they both have been here, what?
4 years, 5 years.
Yeah. They both have been here. So I don't see how it could be where they, they're not on the same page, but, that line, they're not getting any movement. I mean, come on. And that's why I think, in some cases where the backup they have There have been times where he gets more than Saquon, which
take Bigsby.
He gets what's there. You know, they're looking for home runs. I don't think is realistic. That you're running behind this line and you're looking for home runs. I think Saquon has to get to the point where, look, if you got 3 yards there, get the 3 yards. You know, but I don't think that you're looking for big time, big runs and stuff like that. I don't think that's realistic behind this line. You know, they're just not moving anybody. And then really with Juergens, I don't know that it's in the best interest for him to play. If his legs are bothering him, how can you get movement if your legs are bothering you? You know,
Quinnen Williams owned him.
I don't think that's realistic.
Yeah, right.
I don't see how you're going to get movement if your legs are bothering you. You know, it's running is hard enough, but to try to move people with your legs like that, I don't think that's realistic, and I just don't think it's realistic. The one place which they have not had a running game. Come on, yesterday couldn't do anything. I mean, couldn't do anything. That running game was non-existent. So it was, the whole thing was their passing game, and they weren't able to get it done, man.
How about this, Gary? So in the first quarter, AJ gets 6 targets.
Yeah.
The rest of the game, he got 3. I mean, why did they stop going? Why did they stop with the passing game?
I have to go back and look at the tape.
Doesn't it seem that they got the lead and they just went, well, we're going to play defense now, and we're not going to go to risk averse, and we're just going to we're going to win this game this way. Hey, unfortunately, they didn't realize the Cowboys showed up.
That's right. Well, they had been relying on the defense to just be able to shut people down, but that obviously did not work. I mean, and I don't see why you would put, you're going to take your foot off the gas. But from what they were saying, the Cowboys made some adjustments, but I think that ultimately, they weren't able to get it done, man. They made some adjustments, but a good football team will make some counter adjustments. I mean, come on, you can't.
Gary, they were a decent team. They weren't a great. They're 4-5-1 coming in. They were a good team. But you get into the playoffs, that's not going to cut it.
No, it's not. It's definitely not going to cut it. And they just got exposed, man. There's no doubt about it. They got exposed because they were not able to shut the door. They could not get anything going offensively. They weren't able to do anything. Like you went through those numbers of different possessions. Come on. They weren't able to get anything done. And they were not able to run the ball when they went up 21-0. It wasn't on the running game.
No.
Running game did nothing. If they'd have went down there and just left, their running backs here, what would have been the difference? I mean, come on. That's really it's clear that I don't see how you fall that bad. I mean, that's awful, man.
Who do you put the 14 penalties and the 96 penalty yards on? Gary, is that coaching? Because to me, a lot of that is pre-snap alignment stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, is that not preparation? I mean, it doesn't take any talent, Gary, to line up in the right spot.
I think that's definitely preparation. I mean, come on. That's not really, a guy blocking his man, the strength, the quickness, the athletic ability to go block that guy. That's not that. That's just having where you go through these stuff during the week and you do your homework and you come in prepared for the game. Hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to run these different checks. We're going to have to make these adjustments. This is what we're going to have to do when we line up, and I got to make sure I do A, B, and C. That stuff you know, that's clearly a lack of preparation. You know, you're not supposed to go in the game and do that. And the thing is, you know, playing in NFL, this is a professional league. This is not a hobby. You know, it's not something you're doing on the side. You be prepared and do your job. You know, I think somebody should go in there and hopefully some of the veterans go in there and tell guys, look, man, you're going to go out here and make mistakes. One of the worst things I saw was the kick returner catching the ball on the 1 yard line.
Oh my God.
Catching the ball on the 1 yard line. What in the what? Have you ever seen a punt returner go catch a ball on one? I mean, all through my career, I'd sit there and hear the coaches say, hey, you know, either he was going to be on the 10-yard line or the 5-yard line. You do not go back from this. You're going to go down to the, you're going to go to the 1 yard line. Look, come here, kid. You know, I hope they don't get rid of the kid. I don't want to see the kid lose his job. But people lose their job for stuff like that.
That's right.
I mean, it's totally unprofessional. You're catching a ball on the 1 yard line. And you don't know in back of you, now we get the ball on the 20-yard line. What are you doing, man? That's totally Bush League. Kid in high school doesn't do that. I mean, come on, how do you do that? I don't. Now that type of stuff. See, that's the kind of stuff you lose. I mean, and then you go cough up the ball with the game on the line. You go cough up the ball. Now he's very fortunate they didn't score on that drive. I mean, I thought the Cowboys not kicking the field goal was totally ridiculous. Anyway,
ridiculous.
How do you not kick the field goal? What was that? 2 or 3 minutes left in the game?
Yeah.
And you don't kick the field goal? Come on. When the Eagles hadn't done anything offensively in the whole second half, they did nothing. And you are going to go for it on 4th down with that rather than taking 3 points and taking the lead in the game? I thought the Cowboys were trying to give the Eagles the game.
I know they wanted to be aggressive in it, but I was like, holy cow.
I couldn't believe they did that. I thought that was going to cost them the game, you know. That I said, are you kidding me? You're not going to take the 3 points with 3 minutes to go in the game. You're not going to take the lead. And I mean, and they well, really, it shows you how pathetic the Eagles were in that they did not seize that foolish call by the Cowboys. But that kid catching the ball on the, come on, man. I could bring 1,000 kids in here that are little punt returners on Pop Warner League, meaning like they're 10 years old. They come in there. Oh, no, we can't catch the ball past back that deep. Oh, you're on the 1 yard line. You're catching the punt. I tell the kid, hey, come here, kid. Go ahead on in, right? Get out of your stuff. They got a ticket for you in there, okay? Best wishes, you know, for the holidays. Get out of here, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. How can a kid you catch a ball on the 1 yard line? You're catching a punt. You let it go, it goes into the end zone, you get the ball on the 20-yard line, and you go, oh, no, I'm catching this and bringing this out on a punt. Now that I'm you know.
Absolutely. Gary, I got to ask you this one here. I've been asking everyone this. I asked Angelo in the last hour this. It seems to me that if the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl this year or go far in the playoffs, that the new scapegoat is either going to be Kevin Patullo or A.J. Brown. I'm saying it's going to be A.J. Brown because you get a chance to move off him. You get a chance to move the money. I mean, I think they're painting it that way right now because he's been somewhat of a distraction, maybe not to the players, but more so to the organization, Gary, that he's been more of a distraction to those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you believe that if this thing doesn't go well, because Brian Johnson was used as a scapegoat. Someone's going to go down here in this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think A.J. Brown would be that guy and that they would go down that lane? And do you believe that A.J. Brown will be on his football team in 2026?
You know, I definitely think that they're this is something that they're thinking about. in thinking about him leaving, you know, I don't know that. I think they're probably undecided about him right now.
Huh?
But to think that he's going to take. I know they obviously been thinking about him and everything. It depends. If things don't turn around, he probably will be, the odd man out and everything, But that's good. So you're saying about AJ, who do I think who's going to be odd man out? You say AJ or?
What I'm saying, do you think the organization's going to use him as the reason that this season was a failure? If they don't win, will they blame AJ with all the noise that's gone on this year, that there was too much going on inside the organization? Hey, they did this stuff with CJ Gardner, said he was a nightmare inside the building. The guy all he did was he delivered and helped deliver. He was on 2 championship defensive football teams. Gardner Johnson was made to look like he was a cancer in the locker room. Every guy that's left, either it be Sweat, Milton Williams, T.O., any of these guys. And I'm not saying T.O. didn't deserve it. But I mean, the one thing I'm learning about the Eagle fans, they want someone's ass when something doesn't turn out right. And it's either going to be the head coach, the offensive coordinator, or it's going to be a player that someone's going to be served up in this dish here. And I got a feeling it's going to be AJ served up.
Well, he got to know he's on the list.
That's it. He's got to he's on the dinners list.
I mean, and he got to know he's pretty high on the list, that if it doesn't pan out, but, I can't say to him. I think that there is a list, though. I think without a doubt, all of the trouble, man, all of the trouble, all of the talk about, him in the ball and getting the ball out and all that stuff. So I definitely, I don't know that I could say right now that he's definitely gone, but that, and he has to know that, you got to go up, you got to talk to the owner, about whatever's going on and stuff. Because, that's something to think about, because I think that's a decision. I don't know that they've made that decision yet, but I think after the season's over, if things were to flame out like they did yesterday, you got to figure there's going to be some kind of list.
Let me ask you something here, what Shady said.
Yeah.
Shady McCoy made a comment. He goes, there's no way in hell the organization would ever extend Hurts. Do you believe that?
I don't think I don't think that's a definite. No, I don't think that's a definite. Because the guy has won. I mean, you say what you want.
I get it.
He's been to 2 Super Bowls. Come on,
I get it.
The guy's taking them to 2 Super Bowls, and I know that he might feel that way in certain ways, but I tell you what. And I know Nick emphasizes the whole point about the fact that if you turn the ball over, next to the score on the scoreboard, it's the number 1 statistic about winning is not turning that ball over. Now look at the turnovers they had yesterday.
Yeah,
those were horrible turnovers.
Horrible.
So, yeah, I don't know that I would I'm so sure about the fact that they're not willing to they're not willing to hang on to Jalen. I mean, say what you want about the guy. Like I said, I know what Nick when it comes to not turning that ball over, that's one of his jobs. Do not turn the ball over. And yeah, yesterday was a really it was a painful loss. It was, to lose one like that was painful and everything, but I don't think you blame all of that on Jalen. Can't run the ball. Cannot run the ball. Come on. They can't get 2 yards. They won't run the ball on 3rd and 2 because they can't get 2 yards. Come on. How bad? Come on. You're going to tell me what kind of a offense is that? What kind of a running game? You can't get 2 yards? I mean, you go from what they had last year to the way they run the ball this year, as bad as they've thrown the ball. They've run it worse. I mean, as bad as they've thrown the ball, the drop they've had with their running game.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Do you think it was a bad move by Howie Roseman extending Saquon Barkley when he didn't have to?
Yeah, I know, but I think that looking back, they've had some injuries. That's clearly been a part of it. But looking back, the big guy at guard, man, Big Becton, man. Big Becton moved people around, and but they've had the injuries, and they do not have the same offensive line. That's the biggest difference, because they were able to run the ball. When you run the ball, it takes pressure off your passing game, and it takes pressure off your defense too. Because you run the ball, guys go over there. They got time when they come off the field. They come off the field for a while. And if you get a lead, it's very difficult to come back against a team that's running the ball down your throat. And the fact that this might be the biggest decrease in the history of the NFL, where a team went from running the ball so well one year to what it's doing this year. And, I know some of the guys are banged up and everything, but I mean, they can't even,
Gary, no back that gained $2,000 in NFL history. I think there's 9 of them. Nobody's rushed for over 1,400 yards.
Yeah, I know that, but he's on the verge of what, running for what, 700, 800 this year?
I think something like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's that's tough, man.
How about this? I'm going to ask you this question on you Douglas brought this up, and you tell me, brought it up on IP today. Said that Jalen Hurts decides to be a leader when he wants to be. Do you believe that?
I don't know what he means by that, because if you're the quarterback, you're the leader whether you want to be or not. I don't know what he meant by that, but this whole thing with Jalen, hanging on to the ball.
He stands up when he wants to stand up for things, but when things are really kind of hitting the fan, he's not. Mike, I mean,
and I know my man Hugh.
I know you do, and that's why I'm asking you.
But I don't know.
I'll tell you one thing I've learned, Gary, in Philly. You fucking start losing games, everyone's off the top rope on you, man. I mean, hey, man, you get nobody cares you went to 2 Super Bowls, dude. Nobody cares. They don't care. You've had all this winning. Hey, what happened in that? Hey, the Cowboys, dude, I think they could have lost to the Falcons. Everything would have been all right today. You lost to the Cowboys like that.
I know. That is extra. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. The Cowboys are definitely hated in Philadelphia. So losing to the Cowboys in that manner, folks feel like they were violated yesterday.
Yeah. Hey,
the guys going like, hey, look, they it's like somebody goes and sees somebody leaving a man leaving their home as a guy's pulling up. There's a man leaving his home. Look, hey, he's not talking about something. He's talking about going getting some ammo or something.
Hey, Gary, I had my social media on Sunday. I had people going, there he is. Look at him. Sileo, all of a sudden, man, that thing started going 21-7, 21-14. All of a sudden, things went south going, oh, what's going on here? Hey, F Hurts, what's going on? I know that thing went from there to there within a matter of 45 minutes.
I tell you what, if somebody wants to be safe,
Yeah, don't
do
go to
not
Philly.
put on some cowboy hat and
No.
some cowboy stuff
Yeah.
and be somewhere around, walking down the street or whatever. That's not smart.
No, that's
okay?
not going to happen. No way, man.
Woo,
All right.
boy, I'll tell
Hey,
you.
listen. Short work week? Makuba's now with a fractured
Yeah,
ankle
I
now.
heard that. Yeah.
It looks like Adoree may not be out of concussion protocol. That means Ringo and Sidney Brown back there in your secondary.
Hey.
Going against 8-3 Bears. Now get this, Gary. If the Bears win on Friday, they're in the 2-hole. The Eagles slide to the 3-hole. Because they'll go to 9-3 on the season.
That's right. That's right. Well, what time did they have that prayer session on?
Oh my God.
No, hey. I mean that was a painful one there yesterday, boy. I got to give it to them. That was to lose in that manner. See, if it was just back and forth and everything.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But don't go 21-0.
No.
And you got people, people are just, oh man, they were just, hey, party, and then to gradually see it chip away like that was, man, that is the kind,
So Nick Sirianni today was asked if he's considering making a change at coordinator. He goes, no, I'm not considering making a change. Now, before we all sit here and go, oh, I remember sitting on a Monday and I remember hearing Nick say, I got all I need here in the building. And by Friday, Sean Desai was fired. So, I mean, hey, things changed like the winds there, man, on the ocean with the Philadelphia coaching staff.
This is, I tell you what, I hope this ends up being a good year, but this is definitely a good book.
Oh,
somebody's writing a book. This would be a great book.
No,
man.
You know what my wife said the Eagles are like? The Eagles are like Brett Favre, and Jalen Hurts is like Brett Favre in a way. And she means this. The guy will throw for 3 touchdowns in a game, have 2 picks, give you all the drama you want. I'm not saying Jalen will have 2 picks. I'm talking about the highs, the lows.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. If you want drama, you watch the Eagles because there's a ton of winning, there's a ton of drama, and it's a good book.
Yeah. I mean, just with AJ yesterday after the game, he's talking, after the game. That in itself, just the whole thing with all the stuff that's been going on, with the fact that, hey, he was involved in the game in a positive way. The game, he's catching balls and everything. But you lose the game.
Yeah.
You lose the game. How you feeling, AJ? Okay. And just that, I mean, it's just, this is a good movie. I tell you, it's a good movie. That's playing out. So we,
how do you think, finally here, how do you think this ends?
Yeah.
Do you think they're playing championship football?
Right now, this is not championship football. No.
Okay.
And the thing is, maybe it jolts them to up. Okay. Some teams I've seen, some people wake up. When it gets bad, they wake up now. That's the thing is, I don't know. I would say that this offense could really wake up. I don't know that. I don't know that they are, but man,
that
was painful. That yesterday, man. That was ugly, man. That's ugly.
Hey, who would have thought
that was abuse?
Who would have thought at the beginning of the year the Eagles would split with the Giants and the Cowboys?
Wow.
I thought they'd have swept both them teams.
That's right.
Right?
I would have thought. That's why this is a crazy division. I mean,
Rams are the best, right?
Right now, the Rams are the best team I see out there right now. Rams are. That's not, they are definitely, they're playing good football on both sides of the ball. And right now, they're the best team that I see out there right now. But still got a good month and a half or so to go. So we'll see if anything changes. But right now, the Rams are definitely they're the best
Hey, I want to leave you on a personal note. Did you hear Bob Robastelli died?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Bob Robastelli died. Yeah, he died last week.
Is that so? I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, complications or something. And, they texted me and told me that he had passed away. And so, I sent Chris and Mike. I played with them at Catholic High.
Mhm.
And so I sent those guys and all that. But, yeah, man, untimely death, passed away. Good man. You know what I mean? A lot with the Babe Ruth leagues and all that when he was there. I think if I'm not, he's a Catholic High guy too. But I know that he worked with Mickey Leone and all the Babe Ruth League guys. And you and I both played in that Babe Ruth League.
Yep.
And he was part of that.
I'll definitely, make a point to send my regards up, and I'll make some calls up there.
You bet. Cobb, have a great Turkey Day. I will
all right,
see
you too,
my friend.
All right, buddy.
You got it. That is scary, Cobb. Absolutely. What is going on in Philly? It's the Cowboys that you lose. I think if you lose to the Chargers, it's not that quite big a deal. But you lose to the Cowboys. Sue. Do I love it? What would make you think that, Sue? By the way, Sue, I'm not surprised. Sue, you know what? This is one thing that I'm really good at here, Sue. I know who that chick is. I know who that chick is in Philly. She gonna disappoint you in a way. By the way, she's not the best looking chick, man, but she's a hard worker. But she's not quite who she thinks she is. I mean, in good context, it's like a really good looking body with I don't know. Do you want a face by a clock, I guess? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, man. You want a face by a clock. That's the Eagles. Is it good looking? I don't know. Hey, look at the goods here. It's all good. I mean, but yeah, I don't know. You want a face by a clock, right? Sills, you said that same shit, and you made it a big deal when we lost to the Broncos. I didn't know how good the Broncos were then. Now that loss ain't that bad. I mean, they're 9-2, aren't they? Or are they 10-2? What are the Broncos right now? What's their record? What does Denver have as a record right now? Let me look at the standings here. Denver, they're 9-2. I didn't realize that they were going to be that good a football team. By the way, playoff race right now. If we gonna look at the playoff race, we're gonna get all the supers too. By the way, Pates 1, Denver 2, Indy 3, Baltimore's 4th. Where'd they come from? Chargers, you play them, don't you? 5th. Liam Cohn and the Jags are 6, and Buffalo 7. You want to hear something wild? Right now, the Rams are 1. The Eagles are 2. Chicago's 3. Who is Big Sills, one of the big surprise teams? It was New England and the Carolina Panthers. Do you know if they win tonight, they're in sole possession of first place in the NFC South? They'll be 7-5 on the season. They haven't had their bye yet. Right now, they're tied with the Bucs for the lead in the NFC South. Seattle's 5, Green Bay 6, and San Francisco 7. So I'm going to, before I bring Big Z in here, by the way, we'll get to all your supers. I'm just going to tell you a little bit what I learned about Philadelphia. I want you to look me in the face here, Philly. Ready? You need a bad guy. And you're going to take AJ. And you're going to publicly take him near the Rocky statue. You're going to put him up there and you're going to flog this guy for destroying the season of 2025. You know why? Because that's what you do. You're going to blame him. When guess what? All he was doing speaking truths. And you're going to let your boy Jalen off the hook. And you're going to let Nicky Sirianni off the hook. By the way, Xander and John and me might be on different pages. When you give up 500 yards in total offense and a 21-point lead, and you look at those other series after the first three and tell me the defense played well? Okay. Hey, and here, let me help you out. I'll give you another 100 yards of penalties. I don't know. Where'd you play well? Yeah, the quarterback played well. Did he? Or did he play 3 good series? All right. Without further ado, we bring in the man from Birds 365, my friend, Big Zine, Xander Krause.
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
How am I doing? Woo! I ain't too shocked what I'm seeing here. I gave Xander this stat here. First 3 plays, first 3 series, 25 plays, almost 200 yards, averaging 64 yards per series. Last 8 of the game, 34, 100 yards. You average 13 yards per series in 4 plays. Explain this one to me, my friend. 21-point lead, and you had it collapse.
Yeah. I a lot of takeaways from this game, man. And I think people who watch our show Sills are ready for these type of things because that we don't sugarcoat this team like a lot of other people. A lot of Eagles fans live in delusion land, and you see it when me and you have one critique of the team and they're 8-2 and everybody gets their panties in a bun. You guys are crying, you're 8-2, shut up. This team has flaws, and they were realized even more so yesterday. I think the biggest flaws are my biggest takeaways, at least from this game. There's micro and then there's macro, right? You analyze the game and then you kind of look at the bigger trends and the bigger things of the season. They can't run the ball. You've been telling me all year. John's been telling me all year. I've been trying to say it's not Saquon. I don't know what the case is. They'll get it going. This is who they are. You're 12 games in or 11 games in, and you cannot run the football. And look, I'll sit up here and criticize Jalen Hurts when I feel it's necessary. There's not many quarterbacks in pro football that will be great week in and week out without a good running game.
Correct.
Okay, that goes back to 1920 when the NFL was founded. Okay, you need a good running game, and we don't even it's not that we don't have a good running game. We have an objectively awful running game. Awful. We cannot run the football. That's problem number 1. The second problem I see with the game is this is an undisciplined football team that continues to shoot themselves in the foot. To me, that's a culture thing. To me, that's an undisciplined thing. To me, that's a lack of focus. To me, that's a lack of holding yourself accountable. All of that crap. I mean, you have 14 penalties in a football game. Jalen Hurts could have thrown for 500 yards and completed 100% of his pass. 14 penalties for 96 yards. You're not beating good teams that way. 7 offensive penalties, 1 on A.J. Brown, 1 on Matt Pryor, 4 or 5 on the offensive line. You're not winning big football games with that type of approach. That's a horrendous. And I think I get it. It's players. But that's on the head coach from a sense of the focus and the discipline and the approach to the game every single week. 14 penalties is absolutely pitiful. The other thing I'll say,
and when he constantly parades around promoting that is my problem with it. You go around promoting that.
Tough detailed together.
Yeah, all of that. Dude, get this, Andrew. Add one more context to this. 476 in total yards you gave up. And to what you just said, and you gave him another 100. You basically gave him 600 yards of football for them to win that game and come back.
Yep, no doubt.
That's not
So those are my
disciplined
first two
football.
takeaways. I got a few more I'll hit you with, and then we'll dive in. I'm sure you got some great questions after that loss. But I just want to give you guys all my takeaways. My third takeaway, and I don't mean this as much of an indictment as many in Eagle Land are calling it, because most people, most of the simpletons, think that the 100% problem with the offense is 100% exclusively Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni. I don't view it like that at all. But I will say this. Kevin Patullo has been exposed to a certain extent. I don't think it's all on him. I don't think he's the only one to blame for this. But you're a rookie play caller. You're struggling with the ins and outs of the job. You're struggling with the ins and outs of having a feel for the game. You're struggling with basic things. And when your offense is ranked at the bottom and you don't go the distance, you don't get a free pass. When you have the most expensive offense in pro football and you don't go the distance, if this team were to not go the distance and your offense is ranked 25th, 26th, 27th, they've had 4 halves of football this year, Sileo.
Yeah.
4 halves of football where they haven't scored a point.
Yep.
4 halves.
I know.
It's pitiful. So, again, I'm not up here to say it's all Kevin Patullo. But right now, he looks like a one-and-done play caller. Whatever you think of him, he looks like a one-and-done play caller. Problem number 4, Nick Sirianni is struggling to handle the macro issues on the team. He does certain things well. They have a propensity to win games. He is struggling with handling the bigger, overwhelming issues. You know, we talk about all the time, in-game adjustments. How about in-season adjustments? I don't even need you to adjust in-game. How about coming out of a 4-game sample size and seeing, okay, this is a bad trend that we've picked up on this football team. Let's try and fix this. We have a bad trend here on the offensive line. Let's see if we can fix this. We can't run the football. Let's fix this. I don't see Nick Sirianni handling, and we just spoke about it with the penalties, I don't see him handling any of the macro issues well enough to where he's been. And my 5th and final point is, with all of these issues, I don't think Jalen Hurts is elite enough to overcome them all. And that's my 5th and final point, where he's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's a good player. He's not an elite player. And you're not going to overcome the lack of a running game. You're not going to overcome deficiencies at a play call. You're not going to overcome a head coach who makes boneheaded decisions at times. He needs a lot around him to be great. That's Jalen Hurts. That's been that way since he was an 18-year-old guy at college. And I don't think he has the elite ability to overcome some of the deficiencies that this football team has. At least I haven't seen it this year.
I saw Dak throw the Cowboys out of trouble. I saw Jalen Hurts not hold off trouble. And I'll even put this in here. The same things you just talked about with Nick. I saw in 23 how he handled with Desai, Patricia, Johnson.
Yep.
What's different? You know what it is different? The coaches on the defensive side. I'm going to agree with you on one thing you said to me. Okay. I'm sorry, Xander. As a defensive guy, when somebody says to me, you gave up 24 unanswered points and 476, I'm sorry, dude. I'm going to sit in my defensive room and go like this. Don't ever come in my room and tell me we fucking played well when we did that. You do have context, though, because you went like this. Sills, don't you think the offense with the things you showed me with the 8 series after the first 3 played a factor? There's the margin of error, Xander, that I've been talking about. They couldn't overcome it, the defense even. And then when you had injuries because you're not deep at certain places, remember on Friday I told you this? You think you're deep enough. I asked you that. You think you're deep enough at safety, corner, and edge. Didn't that rear its head in that game on
100%.
Sunday?
100%. Now, I don't think that's an only Eagle issue. Like, don't you agree? Like, if most teams, if they lost the safety and the corner, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the NFL.
That's
but
why
I
last
don't
year's team was.
And I appreciate your point on the defense because, like, zoomed in, if you're like Vic, you're like, this is unacceptable. 476 yards, 24 unanswered point. But when you zoom out and you look at the game, it's a team game. There's multiple sides of the ball. Anybody who expects this defense to just bail this offense out every single week, 41 minutes of 0 points from the offense. The defense can only do so much. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and say Sileo, they played great. I agree with you. You're a defensive guy. You're going to look at 476 yards, 24 points, 21 in the second, or 17 in the second half, and say, bullshit, we played like dog water. But I think the other context has to be added in there when you look at the full scope. And, you just added in an interesting element. Now you're going to really see it because Makuba is getting surgery. Reed Blankenship probably, we don't know yet. If he's out on Friday, remember, we got a short week. Adoree Jackson probably won't clear the protocol. Lane Johnson's obviously not going to play in that football game. Cam Jurgens was great. He had his worst game in versus the Cowboys this week, his worst graded game. He graded out a 20 in pass blocking. He is awful this year. Cam Jurgens blows this year. He blows. He might be a worse contract than Saquon Barkley if he can't get it together.
Cam Jurgens is the third. Cam Jurgens is the third worst among all centers in pass protection in the NFL this year.
I mean, it's pitiful. This offense, if they don't not only carry their weight, but carry more than their weight, this team's not going the distance. They can't rely on the defense to do it all every week. They can't. You think scoring 3 touchdowns in the first 3 drives and then just taking the rest of the day off offensively? I mean, that's ridiculous. And I get it. You're right. Defense could have done better, but most defenses aren't holding there.
No. I think your context is correct. I think,
but I think your point's still correct too. I mean,
right. I mean, there was just too much sudden change.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's the first time I've really been looking at the team, and I've obviously talked about the issues. We talk about them all the time. We get hate mail every day because we talk about it, but I think this is the first time that most people are like, yeah, this team is not it right now, And if this team wants to go back and win, I think even
though
the biggest Jalenites are saying that.
Yeah, but I think you said something today that keeps you in the room. Is there anybody in the NFC that you fear? No.
NFL.
No. Can you beat anybody? Yes. There's no 2024 Eagle roster in this league right now. There's
100%.
none of that. There's just none of that. I think, could they still make it to the NFC Championship game? Absolutely. Okay, and by the way, Xander, here, wait, hang on. I didn't learn anything new about the Eagles. I think everybody else is learning about them now. That loss to me, okay, I get it. It's Cowboys. You dropped it. But when you don't have a running game, you can't control the clock. And if you can't control the clock, you allow possessions to be stolen by the other team. Bro, guess what? Dallas took that game from you. They didn't steal it. They took it from you.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
That's the troubling part of it. They took.
Well, that's why I put that number 1. And there's a couple other issues, by the way, I want to get into kind of the nitty gritty of the big picture things that I just mentioned on the 5 things. But you get into the you get into the nitty gritty of some of this stuff too. Have you noticed the operational issues on this offense?
Completely.
Every single. I want people to go back and I rewatched the game today in between shows. I want everybody to go rewatch Jalen Hurts get into the huddle. Every single play. 15 seconds left on the play clock. That thing starts at 40.
I know.
15 seconds. He gets into the huddle. They break the huddle at about 10, 11, 12 seconds. He gets up to the line. He makes one pre-snap read. He gets everybody set. And boom, final second, they snap the ball. You know what else that does? Not only does that create more penalties with your offensive line, with your receivers lining up wrong, with all of the alignment stuff, you know what else it does? It makes life easy for the D lineman. You are a defensive tackle. What's easier than knowing when they're going to snap the ball every single play? You can have a jump like there's no tomorrow. And that's why you saw the interior of that defensive line wrecking our interior. They had to jump every single play.
Can I tell you a little secret that's easy that I told Clint? I told Clint Hurt this last night on text. Bro, they do not use hard count at all because they're too late to the line of scrimmage.
There's no questioning for the defensive line.
There's no hard count.
They just go.
Hut. There's none of that.
That to me is on the coaches.
I watched that too. So here's what they do. Nick and what's his name? Kevin Matullo, they confer. They get the play in. Hurts does this. He hears it. Then he looks down at his wrist. And he looks down at the thing. By the time you're fucking there, You're 12 seconds. You
That's
get to the
what I
line of
mean.
scrimmage. Do you know what that does to O lineman? Okay, so an O lineman does this. You get to the line of scrimmage. Why did you see the guards standing up more so than ever before in this game?
Right.
Was why? Because the Cowboys put a 5 front on them. So the guards got confused. When you get to the line of scrimmage like that, all the Dallas Cowboys had to do was this: go from a 3 to a 2 to a 2 to a 1. That fucks up the band protection. That fucks up where pressure's coming from. That also screws up the run zones that you're going to run in. And before you know it, you're running into a brick wall. Dude, you're telling me you can't figure out a 5-man front with that old line and that coach? Are you buying what I brought up? Mark Trestman brought this up. And I think this is on with Kevin Patullo. I go, what's the number one thing you had to do as a coordinator? I had to be on the same page with my O-line coach and run protection or pass protection and run blocking. I think there's a disconnect. You think Jeff Stoutland's turned into a shitty coach overnight? I don't think he's turned into a shitty coach.
Look at him, though. Dude, he's the offensive line coach and the run game coordinator. Offensive line blows, run game blows.
Who's calling the plays?
I'm just saying, all the people, we call out Patullo, we call out Hurts, we call out all – run game stinks. Offensive line's been shoddy at best. Well, the coaching those two things is, the other thing I think that could be happening there is I think they've underinvested because they've bought into the Stoutland narrative. I think they've underinvested in the offensive line as compared to how they used to invest in it.
Gave too much, like, do you think?
Yeah, Koreans do Jeff Stoutland will make garbage to gold every time. I mean, look at it. Look at who your backups are.
Terrible.
Fire, Kendall Land. These dudes. They had to trade for Fred Johnson. They let him walk. Cam Williams, Miles Hinton, all these 6th, 7th round draft picks. 5th round draft picks.
I want to get your opinion on this. This was just sent to me. Nick Sirianni at the press conference today said he thought Kevin Patullo did a good job yesterday in calling plays.
Yes, I heard him.
He's not thought about changing the play caller. Feels the coaches here have had success. I like the offensive effort, and I like what we did.
You know why he's saying that? Because he's running what Nick wants him to run. And he's running what the offense has created around the quarterback. There's an offense that's created in Philadelphia.
No, Sirianni said that. Sirianni said that about.
People don't want to accept this, though, Sills. They keep saying to me, you know how many times a day I get in my DM, well, why don't we have better route concepts? Why don't we run these different route concepts? They've established they don't want a complex passing offense. What don't people understand about this? We talked about this a week ago. It's like a point guard who can't shoot a three-pointer. It's like a point guard who can't go left.
Remember Greg Cosell said it's the most elementary offense he's ever seen, and he doesn't understand why.
That's why. That's why this offense has these crappy plays, and that's why Nick is saying he's fine. Because Kevin's doing what they're asking him to do.
Wow.
Now, I don't agree with it. I think they should open it up, but that's why they're doing it, because 23, Hurts had a major turnover count, and 24, the first 4 games, he had 7 turnovers in the first 4 weeks. After that, they switched. When they switched, they started winning football games. They've never gone back. They don't believe the best way to win in Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts as a quarterback is to have a high-volume passing attack. That's why they run this BS passing game with the same route concepts, the same hitch routes, the same bullshit over and over again. Now, people are not going to want to hear that. Incoming hate mail, incoming all the bullshit. That's what it is.
He's limited.
I know that's the case.
Here's something to your point. So AJ gets 9 targets in the first quarter. He gets 3 of the rest of the
that many, but
what?
He had 5 catches on 7 targets, I think, in the first quarter. He didn't get targeted again until the fourth quarter.
Why'd you stop doing that?
Exactly. And people are telling me, well, see what happens when AJ gets his targets? I'm like, bull fucking shit. When AJ gets his targets, we go up 21-0. That's what happened when AJ got his targets.
They were owning the Cowboys with him.
They were crushing them.
They could. Do you think the Cowboys could have I didn't think the Cowboys defended him the entire game when he went. Bro, when they went away from him, I went, you're helping Dallas get back in the game. It made no sense. I'm like, why did they stop going to him? Here's what they did. They pulled back, to your point, in that risk-averse thing, where they went like this. We got a 21-point lead. We're going to play defense. We're not going to turn the ball over. And they were playing not to lose. Well, guess what? Dak Prescott threw him out of trouble.
Yeah,
I thought
remember how hard that is when you can't run the ball. Remember, if you go and look at the pass concepts in the second, third, and fourth quarter, when they were running the ball, I know they didn't become overly conservative in the sense of just running the ball and those type of things. They were not forcing the ball. In the first 3 drives, Jalen Hurts completed most of his passes over the middle of the field, in between the numbers. Most of his passes to A.J. Brown, same thing. They stopped doing that. They clamped it up. They shelled it up. Dallas changed. They had the 5-man fronts that were taking away the run game. The offensive line couldn't do crap about it. They were getting pressure on Jalen. Nothing worked. Nothing worked after that. And the penalties, I mean, come on. We referenced it at the open, but they ruined. I mean, we had a great drive in the second half where Dallas Goedert got the ball all the way down to the 30-yard line, all the way back from a freaking prior penalty. I mean, those penalties, again, we talked about it already in the open, but people will act like they didn't hear it. You aren't going to beat anybody.
Anybody.
With 14 penalties.
Nothing.
Nobody.
Stall drivers.
Yeah.
That's
I don't care if Jalen was
all the time.
I don't care if Jalen was 40 for 40 for 500 yards. You're not beating a team with 14 penalties and 100 yards of
I
penalty
don't care
yards.
if you have Barry Sanders back there. You're not doing that.
You're not doing it.
All right. I'm gonna put it to you now. Xander, you know, you and me have had conversations off the air about this. It is November 24th, Turkey Week. I think the cement's being poured. I think the foundation's being set up. Bro, you don't make it to Santa Clara, A.J. Brown's your boy.
Yeah.
That's the guy that's going to be out front next to the Rocky statue. And there's your guy that people are going to blame. Do you agree?
100%. I've already heard it on good authority from people inside the room. It's going to happen. It's who they want to scapegoat. They don't like the way he handles it anymore. That goes from the owner on down. They are upset with his handling of things. That's not to say they disagree with him about the problems. They disagree with his handling of the problems. And in a very Eagle fashion, right? In a very Eagle fashion. Sometimes this organization, guys, they're very unlikable. The more you learn about them, they become very unlikable. I know people don't want to hear that, but that's just the blatant truth. I hear some of these stories from the people who work in there, who are in the building every day, from John, from all the other people. Instead of fixing the problem, they're going to kill the messenger.
That's right.
Get the messenger out of here. Get AJ. We don't like the way AJ Brown spoke in the media, so get him out of here instead of addressing the problem. It's classic Eagles. It's what they're going to do. Anybody with 2 eyes can see it's coming, and they're going to scapegoat. In fact, I'll go this far. They might scapegoat AJ Brown before they even scapegoat Petula. And Petula is an easy guy to scapegoat.
Oh, yeah. Because the messaging of Petula being head coaching candidate, that came out of the Eagle organization.
100%.
I mean, they're not – Nick said it today. They're not disappointed in him. He's doing what they're telling him. AJ, here, get this, guys. Here's the problem. AJ Brown being right doesn't mean you keep your job.
Yep. 100. It's like you always say. Yeah. Your wife always tells you, congratulations, you're right. You're fired.
You're fired. You're not working Monday. That's why in my house, my wife goes, do you want to really go down that lane? Because guess what? Do you want to work Monday?
Well, that's why JAKIB is not run that way, because I hate that mentality on life.
Well, that's the life of the media.
It's very prominent, and I think that's what's going to happen here with A.J. Brown. So, look, I hope everybody understands what they're asking for. When they say they don't like A.J. Brown, they're tired of him, get him out of here. Okay? Before we got A.J. Brown is the best receiver we've ever had in Philadelphia for an extended period, ever. Now, he's not better than Terrell Owens, but Terrell Owens was here for 1 year. Let's call a spade a spade.
A career, I mean.
Yes, 100%.
1 year.
Super Bowl champion, multiple-time All-Pro, 1,500-plus yard. I mean, come on, guys. This guy's going to go, and we're all going to be sorry. It's ridiculous. It gets me so pissed off thinking about it. I'm not even going to lie to you. It gets me pissed off. They're going to scapegoat the hell out of A.J. Brown. And by the way, the worst part is all the fan base, Oh, they're gonna eat it up like it's a birthday.
Oh, they're
cake.
going to eat him alive.
Oh, it's gonna be like pudding. They're gonna eat it and eat it and eat it. They're gonna come in here, screw AJ. He's this.
Yeah.
T.O. 2.0. He's a diva. He's
This will
this.
be worse than Owens.
They're gonna turn on him like they did on Gardner Johnson. Same thing. Gardner Johnson's a great player. Why'd they get rid of him? Oh, he's got a big personality. I don't give a shit. The guy can play football. And by the way, he's coming to town this week on Friday. We don't have a damn safety to put on the field. They got the guy that we let walk out the building for nothing. A guy we went to 2 Super Bowls with. But the Eagles organization couldn't handle it because he had a big mouth. Shut up, man. I hate that. And that's the thing. By the way, this is very different topic, but it's the same reason I like Shedeur Sanders. Not because I think he's going to be a superstar quarterback. I like people who upset the common, the way it is. I like people who come in and do it their fucking way. They're not going to speak how you want them to speak. They're not going to do it the way you want them to do it. They're not going to oblige by all of your bullshit rules. He's going to do it his way, and you're going to have something to say about it. I love people like that. Eagles don't.
No way. How do you think Hurts played?
I think he played all right. I mean, he played good for 3 drives. I mean, I don't think all of the drives in that 40 minutes were on him. I think there's context. But anytime you're the quarterback of a football team and your offense doesn't score for 41 minutes a game, 41 minutes and 30 seconds, Sills. That's how long they play without scoring. When you're the quarterback of that team, you get blamed. That's just the nature. Yes, your name is on it. Yeah, and somebody said this last night in the post-game show. They're like, where are all the people who tell me Jalen Hurts is elite all the time? Isn't this what you expect of an elite player? When you have these issues, you overcome them. When you need a score, when you have a drive at the end of the game, you go and convert and go get the field goal. Isn't that what you expect of elite players? Or no, we just have a mediocre quarterback that's a part of the winning. So we got to have a come to Jesus conversation here because it can't be both.
No.
It can't be both. So you go 41 and a half minutes with no points on the board. Yeah, I think Jalen was a C-.
Yeah, okay. C-, sure.
Threw the ball well in the first 3 drives, and that's it. When disappeared after that.
Those penalties are on him too, because like you said,
Some of them are.
on it. Your name's on the offensive unit, right?
Well, it's interesting, AJ in his post-game press conference, which again you can already see the fan base. AJ Brown has this 7-minute press conference Sills after the game. All right, in the locker room, he's mopey and miserable for 6 minutes and 50 seconds. There's a 10-second period of the 7-minute interview where a reporter, it sounded like he was laughing or something, and AJ looked at him, and it was like a little moment where he thought something would happen that didn't happen, and he smiled at him. And then all of Eagles fans all over Twitter take a screenshot of him smiling and say, look at this diva. All he cares about is his targets. He doesn't care that we lost the game. I'm like, you guys are such simpleton losers. It's already happening. They're already scapegoating the guy. It's going to happen. And oh man, I'm going to be so pissed off at it. I'm going to be so pissed off at it, Sills.
And you're going to be nothing left but the bones. And you're going to be watching it in front of you with a player that's a generational player on your team, and you're going to eat him alive. I mean, and get this, for being right, you're going to eat him alive.
Yep. Kill the messenger and don't fix the problem. Classic Eagles.
Then to try to cover it with another guy to bring him in, because remember,
that's what they did at safety.
Players and coaches are interchangeable with them dudes. I mean, that's exactly what's going to go down this way here. How do you feel about this? John thinks you're blowing the Bears out Friday.
We're not blowing the Bears. John's on. I don't know what he's smoking. Blowing the Bears out with who? Who have we blown out?
No one. Giants.
Oh. No. The Bears are 8-3. Winners of 4 straight. First in the NFC North. 6 straight comeback.
Did they not kill that Cowboy team too?
They beat the Cowboys. Bears are a solid squad. Ben Johnson is a great coach. Ben Johnson has completely changed. Talk about culture. You want to talk about a real culture change? He's changed the culture in Chicago.
I can't
They
remember.
got 3 guys coming in. DeAndre Swift's been great for them. Kevin Byard's been great for them. C.J. Gardner-Johnson's been great for them. Those are 3 former Eagles coming in here on Friday. All right? That's a tough game on Friday. You got no Lane Johnson. You got no Andrew Makuba. We don't know yet on Reed Blankenship. You can probably assume Adoree Jackson's not out there, which means you're missing 2 guys in the secondary. What are they going to do with Coop? Who's going to be your second safety? I mean, dude, if Reed Blankenship doesn't play, you understand that their safeties are going to be
Sidney Brown
and Michael Carter.
Yeah.
Or Andre Sam.
And your corner's Keeley.
And I know the Bears don't have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, but they got DJ Moore. They got Luther Burden. They got Roma Dunze. They got the 2 tight. They got Cole Kmet. They got Colston Loveland. They got a tandem of running backs in Munge or whatever his name is, and DeAndre Swift. They got weapons. And Caleb Williams, for all his faults, and I think he's a little bit of a goofy, he will escape the pocket and make a play. And sometimes that's a kryptonite for a defense like this.
Yeah. Oh, completely.
So, I think that's going to be a close game. I'm not yet sure who I'm picking in that game.
I think Barkley's
lost spot for the Eagles.
So do you think it's Barkley that's lost it, or do you think it's the O-line that's lost it?
I think the O-line lost it more than Barkley did. I think Barkley's overthinking.
I agree with you.
Dancing too much. I don't think Barkley has physically lost it.
Do you agree with me? And what's that guy's name? The wide receiver that Angelo brought up, the former wide receiver for the Eagles. Guess he works on Philly NBC.
Jason Avant.
Yeah, Jason Avant. How about this? I know I see some business decisions going on out there.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he don't want to get hit.
Like, dude, you're a running back. Like, you're a 235-pound running back. Like, your job is to put your shoulder into somebody and move them 2 yards. Like, that's what your job is. It's not to dance around everybody.
Business decisions, like business moves. Like, you don't want to get hit and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get it. Yeah, it's so many hits, but, bro, you think it was a mistake? Hey, do you think Howie made a mistake on extending him?
On Barkley, it was a thank you. It wasn't a future extension. It was a thank you. Rose the team to, unprecedented relevance, put him on every commercial, made Jalen Hurts the face of – did Jalen Hurts' play make him the face of Jordan last year and, the number 1 commercial guy in the offseason and put him on the View? Does anybody think that was all Jalen Hurts' play? Or was that Saquon Barkley who ran for 2,505 yards or whatever it was? Most in NFL history. Let's call a spade here. Barkley rose that team
elevated
to a new level. Yep. And in terms of perception, value, public, all that, everything. That was a thank you. That was a thank you to Saquon. And it's not going to
give you one guy that I'm going to continue to say that. How about this? I'm going to finally admit it here on November 24th. Now, I don't know what this means in the future. Dude, I'm wrong on Dean. He's fucking great.
He's a beast. You're not wrong about the injuries.
He's fucking really good, though. I mean, had another sack. It's 3 weeks in a row now. He's had a sack. They're blitzing him. All the bullshit that went on. God dang, man. Can he play ball? He runs to the football. I'm getting in that lane now, Xander, where I got to try to make something work with that kid. I don't know if I can let something like that roll out the building.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, what about who are you paying, him or Nolan Smith?
Nolan Smith, goodbye. But you can't because Howie's not going to let a number 30 go.
I'm with you on that completely. I think they should pay Nakobe. Now, obviously, you got to wait and see. But I mean, if he's healthy when the season ends and he plays like this to the end of the year, I'm not letting that go.
I'm praying for him to be healthy so that they can get him the deal. I want to see what maybe it could be. Hey, how do you think Carter and Davis played?
Did you see him? I thought Davis actually played okay.
I thought Jordan was okay.
Jordan, I thought was good because he was clogging up the running lanes pretty well. I mean, there was a couple plays. Now, Javonte had a productive game. He didn't have an overly productive game. I think he had like 20 carries for, I don't know, not that many yards. I mean, he gets his 3-4 yards, but I thought Jordan did a good job up there for the most part. Well, the one I was really disappointed in was really Carter, because I kind of was expecting Carter to wreck the game.
Yeah.
And by the way, remember we talked about this.
Woody Williams was a fucking horse in there.
He was a machine.
He was
in that game.
horse.
Go watch the Saquon Barkley runs in that game. He only had 10 of them. Watch how many of them he's got to juke around and move away from Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams is a boss, man.
When you get this, I told my wife, I go, that guy's 325 pounds.
It's
that
crazy.
Guy, he's got a washboard gut. He's not a fat guy. How great was he? I mean, I know he was at Alabama. Was he like that at Alabama where he was throwing guys all over? He was throwing people all over the joint.
He was better at Alabama. In college level, he was a machine.
Man.
I know coming out of Alabama. He was one of my favorite players on the Bama team.
He was like the third player taken.
Dude, his college tape is insane. He wrecked people. People.
But you agree that they won the line of scrimmage, Dallas?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think both sides.
Both sides, right?
Both sides, man. That Cowboys offensive line is not bad.
How about Jerry getting the Cowboys better?
By the way, I agree with you 100%. And John, I don't know if you heard him this morning. John and Jeff were both, John brought up your take about how they got better. You think they got better, and you think that's an egregious take. I don't know how he doesn't see it. They got rid of a great player. They completely changed their defense by plugging guys in the middle, stopping the run, and now everything can build off of what they've done in the interior. It's the same way the Eagles have built. Why didn't the Eagles go and get an edge rusher until just now? They built out the interior. They built up their linebackers. They built up all of the other stuff, and then they added the big edge rusher with Jalen Phillips.
Okay.
That's what the Cowboys did.
But get this. John goes against what the Birds weren't 24. They didn't have an elite edge. They had elite tackles. And that's what the Cowboys did right now. They got Clark and they've got Williams. I mean, you had 8. You got better. You didn't have an elite edge. You went to the Super Bowl and won it. Hey, all these edge rushers, Dander, that get paid, they're all on losing teams. I don't get that. You're telling me you don't think – hey, do you think the Dallas Cowboy defense got better from week 1 to where they were yesterday? I do. Don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I know I see Prince crying in the chat that Jalen Carter was being held. Yo, Prince, I'm gonna tell you something right here. You know why he's not getting the calls, Prince?
Undisciplined,
and he's now got a reputation. So for all the people who say, yeah, spit on him, it's funny, who cares, blah, 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 I like his mentality. That's why, Prince. He's not going to get those calls ever, Prince. I'm not saying you're wrong, but what are you going to do, make an excuse? It's part of it.
Refs are like elephants.
Going to get rid of them.
Refs are like elephants and memories. They're not going to not forget that. You got 100%. A reputation. Hey, dude, 100%. You think Adama – hey, Prince, you think Adama Sue had a reputation his entire career? For all 16 years that he never got the benefit of the doubt? Adama Sue had that tag his entire
career. That's what
Jalen
Carter's going to have, and he's going to be fighting it forever.
Yeah. Refs don't forget that shit, dude.
Nope.
You made a comment today, Xander, that was sensational. We're going to get to the Supers in a minute. You said something that was so right. Your run game's not getting fixed.
No, I don't see any fix anytime soon. Lane Johnson's out. Cam Jurgens is 25%.
You got to throw the ball.
Yeah, good luck. This team is going nowhere if you become a passing team. This team is not.
Well, what's your choice?
I don't know.
Do you know your offense? Do you agree with this, what I said? Your offense is systematically destroying this team.
Well, here's the thing. If they start throwing the ball, they got to get rid of the risk-averse bullshit.
Completely. They got to change.
If you're going to throw the ball, you can't have this approach that you can never turn the football. You're going to have turnovers.
They lose the Bear game, they'll do it.
I don't know, dude.
If they lose the Bear game, that means they'll be
week 13. We're going into week 13, Sills. Not week 8. Week 13, bro. We are like in the back stretch of the season, if you can believe that.
No doubt. Oh, there's like 6 left, right? 7 left.
This season is going by so quick, man.
Do you agree with me? This offense is destroying the team in front of you because now the defense is starting to get piled up injuries. Bro.
Yeah, and the defense can't. They can't bail them out on everything, man.
Nope.
They can't.
Okay.
Offense was great for the first 3 drives yesterday. Where did what like 0 points in 41 minutes? I mean, I get it. You're mad at the defense. Does anybody really expect the defense to hold
No.
41 minutes?
No. I think your
The
context,
number 1 passing attack in football?
dude, that George Pickens.
That kid's a fucking beast.
Was he like that at Georgia?
Huh?
Was he like that at Georgia?
George Pickens? I mean, he was good. I don't think he was like that, dude.
Was he on the national title teams?
I think so, yeah. With
Yeah.
Jalen Carter and them. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got drafted in what, 22, I think?
Yeah. I think he was on the
Or
national
21
title.
maybe?
He went in the second round. Bro, would you make a Knicks handling of that game?
Poor, weak, 14 penalties. You know, I think again he's losing his sense on the macro. I think I don't think Nick has ever really
poor coordinators expose his.
If you think about it though, Nick has never really had answers.
No.
Like when you have problems, that's what I said earlier.
Not a problem solver.
Nick is struggling with the macro problems. You know, 24, he had Vic in the running game. 23, they collapsed and he had no response to it. 22, they went to the Super Bowl. They had 70 sacks, one of the most in NFL histories. Now 25, you have adversity. You're not able to run the ball as well. Your offense isn't clicking. There's no answers. It's the same shit every week, which is why I say to you, does anybody really believe they're going to change? You heard Nick today at the press conference. Ever thought about a change in play caller? Ever thought about haven't even considered it?
Thought he did well. That
I
was
just don't
the
think he's going
comment.
to change anything.
Hey,
I don't think
I
he's going to
thought
change
he
anything.
did well. Let's get to the supers, my friend. By the way, please hit the like button, guys.
It's upsetting, you know. It's upsetting because I think this team.
You know why, Xander? I don't think you mind losing games. I think you mind getting beat like that by the Cowboys.
Yeah. Dude, we haven't had a loss of that. They haven't had a collapse to that level since Andy Reid in 1999, I believe it was.
Worst loss in Sirianni's career?
Easily. His other biggest loss was by 15 points in 23. They were up by 15. They lost the game. That was the second highest. This was 21.
Man, I'm watching that game, and when they scored that 7 points going into half, I went like this. One more, you make it interesting. Sure enough, 24 unanswered, Xander.
Oh, by the way, one other thing we didn't talk about yet, and it was referenced, but specifically, we don't have Lane Johnson. So, like, anybody that thinks, like, we're going to just, like, get this thing on the road, like, Fred Johnson, did anybody watch him in that game? He was getting ragdolled.
Yeah.
He couldn't run block. He couldn't pass block. He was getting penalized. He is nowhere in Lane Johnson's arena. He is not Lane Johnson is on Pluto.
Yeah.
Fred is at the sun. I mean, they're not even fucking close. They're not even close. So we're going to turn around this run game without Lane Johnson on the field. We're going to become a passing team with Lane Johnson not on the field. Does any of that sound good to you?
No. All right, let's get to all these supers, Xander.
Cam Jurgens is your other biggest problem in that offensive line. He is awful right now. Awful. Let's go to the supers.
Let me do this. Let me ask you one last one. If you go into the April draft, you going where? I'm looking for a running back in the later rounds.
Sure.
I'm looking for offensive lineman, corner, and some safeties. No?
Yep. Yeah, I think that's right.
And then I think maybe a wide receiver too.
Maybe a wide out. Yep.
Okay, how about this? I think the way the season plays out, do you not agree, will determine that order.
I think they're gonna. It wouldn't surprise me if they draft another quarterback too at some point around 3. Not that I think they're gonna go. I mean, did anybody hear Shady McCoy the other day? Now I know this is what fans do. They jump on Shady McCoy. You're not an Eagle. You're a hater. Instead of listening to what Shady was saying, they jump on him because they don't like the message. Jalen Hurts right now is not living up to what they want him to be living up to. Now, he's been successful. He's had good years. They're going to learn their lesson from paying for past performance with Saquon Barkley. They're not going to do it with Jalen. If Jalen doesn't come in here and lift this team to new heights, I'm not so sure that they're just going to roll out the red carpet for him to keep playing in Philly.
Here, to your point here. So do you have a problem with the Packers going from Favre, then drafting Rodgers while Favre was still there, and then drafting Love while Rodgers was there?
Jalen's not at that level yet.
No,
I mean,
but
he's not
what I'm
that old.
saying is that they were preparing for the afterlife of those guys.
We have a smart person in the chat. Let me give him credit. Deshay, thank you for using your fucking noggin, Deshay, because most people here do not. I heard him. Someone told Shady that. He's not talking out of his ass. Deshay, bingo, my friend. Anybody think Shady McCoy gets up on that and just says, they're not going to extend Jalen Hurts out of the backside of his ass? No, that is not what happened.
Can I tell you what?
Thank you, Deshay, for using your brain.
I wouldn't be shocked if Brandon Graham told him that.
I don't think it'd be BJ. I'll say that.
You think it'd be Lane?
Nope.
Maybe Big Dom. Maybe Big Dom here. Let's get to these supers, my friend. Hey, one thing about, my wife said about your team, Xander? My wife goes like this. She said this. It's kind of like Favre-ish. It's so fucking entertaining. You're going to have these swings like this. You're going to have all this. It's such a great book to read. It's the best book in football right now.
It is. It's a better book when you're not.
Jeffrey Lurie must be very proud of this script.
It's a better book when you're not invested in the outcome.
All right. Fair enough.
Look at Roberto crying. Oh, ready? Shady's wrong. D-Jax is wrong. Derek Gunn's wrong. Hugh Douglas is wrong. Seth Joyner's wrong. How many more people are you going to say are frauds, Roberto? How many more people are you going to say are frauds?
I'll just tell you this, man. I've never wavered for 5 years, and here we are.
Well, you've been wrong to some extent.
With what? With Hurts?
Jalen would never win a Super Bowl. He didn't get the job done. Some of those things I think that you've owned up to you being wrong on.
I have, but I don't think I've been wrong on his skill set.
Yeah, I think that could be fair. Bruce says, what's up, Bruce? Are we having another Temu off season? I don't think they can afford it.
No, dude. No. Your Temu off season was so you're set. Remember what I told you in the off season, bro? Remember one of my topics were to you is this. Do you think that they mortgaged the 2025 season for 6 and 7? All of you said no. Well, I think they did. I think they did mortgage it. Now, guess what? Rent's due. How you doing?
Bruce, we'll see, brother. Here's Riot. I think this is Josh. Josh, I know that's your name now. Xander, I told you this back when we played the Vikings, that this season will fall on whether or not Jalen can throw the football. This team was lost because of what Howie did this offseason. No competent OC or play caller. Agreed.
Totally, man. You got a training wheels OC. We've been saying it since day one. What made Kevin Patullo qualified for that job? We brought this up the entire.
If the season ended today, do you think they'd be bringing Kevin Patullo back? I don't.
Depends how the AJ thing goes.
Let's just play.
Remember, they don't like to be wrong, Xander.
Let's just play a scenario here for a second. If the Eagles lose in the wild card or the divisional round,
both are gone.
Same problem. By the way, the offense does look like this for 12 weeks. Let's just assume it looks like this for the rest of the year. That's a safe assumption. Who's getting scapegoated? Only AJ?
No.
AJ and Patullo?
No.
Patullo fired, AJ traded. Quarterback, who do you got?
Oh, it's going to be the OC and the wide route.
Yep, that's how I see it too.
It's
going to Patullo will be fired and AJ will be traded.
Or maybe demoted.
Yeah.
They may not fire him because they like him. Dude, how do you release he's a head coaching candidate one week and all of a sudden the next week you're going to blow him out?
Maybe they're trying to plant shit for other teams to start looking at him.
Like they tried to do that for Brian too.
Here's Marshall. What's up, Marshall? Well, guys, I'll catch y'all next week. Birthday tomorrow. Headed to Philly for vacation. Enjoy, my friend. Can deal with the Cowboys glaze. Can't deal with the Cowboys cleans this week. Y'all be good. Oh, Marsh, you're not going buttercup on me,
You
are
offered
we?
us $1,000 not to put Mark Holmes on Wednesday.
I saw it. Yo, Marsh, you're not going buttercup on me. We just got our ass beat, Marsh. Sometimes
Marsh
you got to tip the cap.
Wait a minute now. Marsh can't take the key. Marsh says he's all right. You know why? He can't take the Cowboys, dog.
He can't.
He goes, Sills, I can't have that guy. You know why he's not tuning in on Wednesdays? Because he can't hear fucking Mark Holmes. My God, is Mark Holmes going to come off the top rope on Philly 500 on Wednesday, dude? By the way, Howard Eskin's tomorrow too, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Here's we got a couple more. Prince, you love it, Prince. Rodriguez says they're fucking nuts if they re-sign Hurts. I don't know if they will. Cal says trade AJ and give Pickens $40 million. Pickens isn't leaving Dallas.
He's a free agent, dude.
Like, this is what I don't get. Kill's like Jalen Hurts' resume. Playoff, Super Bowl. What are you doing this year? Playoffs again. Kill, that is not an individual accolade, my friend.
I
don't know what you're smoking.
That enough.
That's not an individual accolade. Player contracts are earned off of individual performance, not team performance. Sileo has been telling you this for 5 fucking years. You don't want to hear him. You don't pay contracts off of team success.
Never have.
The offense is another bottom offense, Killa. They were 29th last year. They're going to be in the bottom 5 again. If they don't reach expectations and you don't think there's going to be a conversation had, then I think you're smoking peyote.
Yeah, you're crazy.
You're smoking Aaron Rodgers shit. Here's trying to survive. What's up, brother? Stills, what makes Jalen Hurts so good? Any QB can hand the ball off, and the little they ask him to pass seems like he struggles due to view of field.
Well, I'm going to say it. I don't think Dallas Cowboys game has changed my opinion of him. He's got an innate ability to win games. And I don't think you can just shake away from that. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about pure skill set, bro, he's in the top 15 guys. But again, you can't escape when he's in moments. I was really shocked that they couldn't hold that lead. That was very un-Jalen Hurts-like. And to me, you know what? I'm going to say that's a one-of. Because for him not to hold that lead like that, I was more surprised with that, Xander. One of the things I was surprised with is that he didn't come through in the end, because usually he does. He holds – you win games like that usually, don't you think?
Yeah. No doubt. All right, let's keep rolling. We got a bunch of supers here. Thanks, everybody, for the supers. Cal, what's up, man? Imagine if the offense had it together and made our defense have less opportunities to get injured. I blame our shit offense. Me too. Me and you both.
You'd be like 24, bro.
We've been talking about this for weeks. The amount of strain they're putting on that defense, they're lucky the defense held this long. And by the way, the bad performance that they had, I mean, they still only held them to 24 points. Pretty good performance.
I was a little concerned when I saw Phillips show up last week on the injured list.
Yeah.
Because I think when somebody said something, Sills, did your boy play? And I'm like, remember, when healthy, I'm not – listen, you know me, man. He's a Kane guy. I'm all on his ass.
I know, but you also know his history.
I'm just saying that kind of concerned me that he was on that injured list.
Yeah.
Because he played like he had a little nicks in there, because he was a non-factor in that game against the Cowboys. And those tackles aren't that good.
Here's Moonlight. Sills, does Dean remind you of an old school era 2000s type?
Yeah, not really, because he's not big. Those 2000s dudes were 255, like Ray Lewis and them dudes. He's a new wave guy. He's a 205, 215 guy who can play in space. He's a fucking bullet, dude. Every single time. I'll tell you this too, Xander. They should rush him more. You know, like how they found out that Michael Parsons, I bet you that guy would be a decent edge rusher. I'd put him out there and see if he can come off the edge. He's fast as lightning out there, man. You need to move him around more. His speed is insane. By the way, how well do you think Bond played?
Good.
Okay.
I think he was an issue.
I think Bond was good. I don't have a problem with it. I thought the linebackers were good.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you're on the field as much as you are. Your offense can't move the ball for 41 minutes. And there's still people in here. Oh, my God, are you talking about Jalen? Guys, the offense didn't score points for 41 minutes. You think the quarterback shouldn't be any part of that conversation?
He played so
I mean,
good.
I don't. Yeah, so I love Philly, man, but sometimes y'all are some
They
goobers,
can't.
man.
They can't.
Y'all really are.
They can't talk about the guy, man. Or
It's amazing.
you can't say
It's
anything
amazing.
negative about
The
him.
nickname of the boyfriend really works. It's their
Yeah.
boyfriend.
It's their
They
boyfriend.
can't criticize their boyfriend.
That's right.
Don't tell my lady anything bad
Some of the
about me.
glazed donut Eagle fans, that's their
100%,
boyfriend.
man. Here's Marshall. How are we scapegoating a guy that bitches every week? I disagree with that thought. That guy, AJ, caused drama himself. So what's the bigger problem, Marshall? The way he delivered the message or the problem itself that he's talking about? You think it's the way he delivered the message. I think the problem is a bigger issue.
But the team is going to make the way he delivered it the bigger
Oh,
issue.
yeah, they are. But I'm trying to explain to Marshall how they're scapegoating.
Oh, well, yeah. The truth is going to set him free. He's going to be on a different ball team next year.
Anybody who's telling me after that game that A.J. Brown lost a step, yeah.
They couldn't defend him.
Yeah, stop. And then they bracketed him on the final 3rd and 2. And people are like, look, you got covered. You got covered.
Hey,
I'm like, bro, the linebacker bled over. They covered him on a simple slant route, and he wasn't there. A.J. Jalen didn't get to his progressions, and he got sacked 13 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It was a terrible sack.
Did I see him in the slot a couple times?
Yeah, absolutely. He was in the slot.
I was like this. You're not going to go one-on-one with that guy. Dallas can't defend him. They didn't throw it to him. I was like, how are you not single coverage? Dude, Dallas doesn't have a guy in the team that can cover him.
All right, we got 8 minutes. Let's go. We got to roll, bro. Here's 18. Reddick in 23 said upstairs wanted to change coordinators and to ask them. They ruined his image with his contract talks, then shipped him ASAP. I knew then these guys are North Korea. I love the Eagles stuff. You know, Jason, let me tell you something, Jason. Sometimes as a fan, growing up as a fan of this team and now working here and doing what I do and learning more about the industry and making more connections that I've made in the last couple months and talking to people, it's kind of upsetting because it really becomes easy to dislike the organization. The more you know, the worse it is.
I hate that in you. Yeah. You know why? Because you have such a great passion.
Well, I'm a realist. I'm not going to lie to myself.
No.
I'm not.
Yeah. After a while, you know what? It's a dirty business sometimes, bro.
It's a goofy organization. Dirty business, but the organization specifically operates in an interesting manner.
Yeah,
not my favorite.
It's sneaky and snaky.
Yep, sneaky, snaky, silence people. They don't want anybody going against them. The arrogance is through the roof. I mean, the holier than thou mentality. They ship people out. Anybody who disagrees, it's just weird. Pumper says, well, screw Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I said it. He's an effing fraud. All you bums who we call Jalenites, get bent and take a freaking hike. Pumper's been going off all day, dude.
I saw it.
He was going crazy this morning.
I heard it.
Here's 18. All the scapegoating is already happening. Fans don't want to realize how grimy the organization really gets. They did it to Reddick for speaking out. 100%, 18. 100%. Here's Moonlight. Jake, make a GD field goal. He's missed 3 in the last 5 weeks.
I know.
He started perfect. He's missed 3 in the last 5.
I know, man. That one was big.
Yeah, it was. Here's 18. Thank you, 18. Does this prove to everyone even more now, players execution-wise, there is a human element. These guys are not robots and do everything right all the time. They have internal conflict just like a job. Correct.
Absolutely, 18. Man. And when your boss makes your job harder, conflict becomes more accentuated. That's why you're trying to not have conflict in your locker room.
Yep.
It's a tough enough business, man.
All right, here we go. Here's O. Jones. What's up, brother? I won't say Barkley is washed, but he's deaf in his own head. He's making unnecessary moves before hitting the gaps. Tank gets in there and gets an easy 6 by just going north to south. Yeah, and Tank's making some guys miss, too. You'd be surprised.
I like him, but, dude. Did
you get all the supers from when your guests were on?
Yeah, I did.
Walkel, you got this one. Dan, thank you for getting Angelo on. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
I did not get that one.
Bill, thank you, my man. Appreciate your support, Bill. Here's King of Kings. If we get rid of AJ, then I would not extend Hurts. We can get the same production from a rookie quarterback and receiver and put that money on O-line and defense.
Okay.
It's fair. The organization's probably had that thought as well, as much as the noodles in the chat won't want to hear it. Why the hell is Bigsby getting 2 carries a game? It's a fair question. Because they're paying Saquon Barkley $22 million.
I think you may see some increase in volume. Surely there's going to be a conversation. I mean, we're now going into week 13, dude. That shit's over with, Xander. Is there something wrong with Barkley? Is there something wrong with the whole fucking unit? Absolutely here.
All right, I think you might have got these, but everyone continues. Did you get this one? Take a shit on Brian Johnson. He had a top 10 offense that year and still got scapegoated.
Yep.
All right, how about when Angelo was on? I think you got all those.
Yep.
All right, we got a couple more. Here. L. Rodriguez says you cannot pay $250 million to a quarterback that can't make up for deficiencies on your roster. These coaches aren't dumb. The guy's just limited. That's the truth.
Absolutely. Hey, just so you know,
30. You want to take a 30?
I want to do a 30. I want to do a 30.
I got 4 more. So take a 30.
Let me do a 30 here. We'll come back and finish it up.
Yep.
All right, folks, don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. That's because they win. Defending families across the country like yours. If you're ever hurt on the job, Morgan & Morgan 25 years ago was established because John's brother got hurt on the job, and this has been a quest and a mission for Morgan & Morgan to defend families like yours. Again, easiest decision you'll ever make with thousands of attorneys. The largest injury law firm in the entire world is Morgan & Morgan. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Hey, real quick before you get back into this. So I talked to Mike Cardano. He invited me and he said he'd credential not only me, my wife too, because my wife's a producer for the Super Bowl. And you know what? Kim and I were like, it's a drive up. It's not, we'll drive up. So I mean, what do you think? You want to get credentialed to come out?
Muted it for the spot. My bad. No. I mean, look, if they're in it, I'm in there, and maybe we'll go anyway. Maybe we'll go and get some interviews anyway. That would be pretty cool to do. And they got a great set. Sports.
By the way, my wife grabs everybody. I mean,
I know. I'm sure she does.
Everybody on all the shows, right?
Here's Cataldi. Eagles are big brother. They like to silence you. Very correct.
I agree, man. Well,
Mills says it. Great game. AJ got his stats though. 8 for 110, touchdown. LOL. Yeah, Mills, and they had a 21-point lead when they threw him the ball. Stop throwing them the ball.
How would you like to be AJ and not have a throw the entire rest of the game? I'm not sure that's how he wants to look at that. Hey, I got my targets. I'll take the rest of the day off. No way.
Now, here come the comments that he won the Super Bowl MVP in February. Oh my God, these are the funniest comments. He's a Super Bowl MVP. All right, is he? That happened in February, dude? It's fucking November. I don't really give a shit about February anymore. I don't look in the rearview mirror all day. I know you guys do, and you jerk off to it like weirdos. Theodore says, Dean reminds me of Sam Mills, Mighty Mouse.
Sam Mills is a great player.
Yeah.
Great player. Was cut numerous times, Xander. Played in the USFL. I think Vic had him. in the USFL. Then he had him in New Orleans.
Yeah. Here's Ryan. Last one. If we lose to the Bears, how long before we start hearing from players other than AJ? It's a good question. Probably not, because they'll
no, that's right. You'll hear them after the game, but they'll walk it all back by Wednesday.
Yeah, because or else they'll get cut or traded or whatever.
Isn't it great? One thing about JAKIB, the only place in Philly where you hear the truth. I mean, dude, really. But guess what you're starting to hear now? You're starting to hear people chirping about Patullo and AJ. Because they see right now the writing on the wall right now. You and I have been talking about it for months. Like 4 months we've been talking about this.
Oh, man, these fans. I love you, Philly, but holy crap. This fan base is, man, they're.
One more loss. One more loss it'll take.
And I don't know I don't think anything will break these people, man. I really don't. These people got Jalen Hurts' balls so far in their mouth. It's I think disturbing.
Don't you? But didn't Wentz have them too?
Yeah, they did. He did.
These people will turn on you like Judas turned on you know who.
By the way, I did the same shit when Wentz. I had a video. I recorded the video before I ever did content. I was sitting in my apartment in Houston. I wanted to start making content in a different area. I have an old video on my computer. I never posted it anywhere. I still got it. I'm wearing an old school Eagles hat. I'm like 20 years old. And I made a video saying after week two in 2020, I said they got to bench Carson Wentz. He looks like shit.
Big Z.
It's funny. Wait, real quick. I was talking to my brother, and my brother, obviously, he's like, what's going on? How was your week? I'm like, it's all good. Everybody's mad at me because I was a little tough on Jalen Hurts this week. He's like, you've been a Jalen Hurts fan since you were like 16 years old. I'm like, I know. I went to college with the guy. I loved him my whole life. He's like, I know. That's weird that people think you're a Jalen hater. I'm like, they don't like to hear the truth. I'm honest.
Nope.
All right, brother. Good show, man.
Hey, I will see you tomorrow, my friend. Hey, by the way, tomorrow, Coach will be on and Howard Eskin will be on tomorrow. How's that for you, man? We got a big week set up.
And then we got that Friday game with Thanksgiving on Thursday, so it'll be interesting. But all right, man. Appreciate you, Sills.
Got you, bro. I'll see you in the morning, man. All right, that's Big Z. Make sure you check him out on Birds 365. What a week. By the way, this is a short work week, too. Friday. Black Friday, the Bears. Mike North, forgot. That's right. Mike North on Friday as well. So we have to do something there with that. Have a great one. Please hit that like button. Thank you for all the supers today. 2 to 6 tomorrow. We'll see you on the flip side.